Come on, little guy. No one hurt you. So, we're supposed to rescue these little kids here. They seem to have found a knoll. And no child, no less. Who has a backpack with a bone in it. Because what else would you put in a backpack?
Hello! Wanna fly kites, leader?
There's an abandoned knoll cub right there. Poor little guy's starving. Tasty tuskers. Me eat tasty tuskers. Well, okay, it wants to eat us. But don't worry, it's too weak to attack.
Whoa, what are you?
Toss says all gnolls are dangerous and mean, but there's just a baby. Moss says I have to take care of now. He's a baby too.
Okay, bye.
He's only trying to eat us because he's so hungry. Fish. Nobody can turn down some tasty, ice-cold, raw fish. Frigid fish are the best ever. You can fish them up all over the ocean, but if you can't, well, Jin Kuktuk in Ascara will sell you some.
Next time, bring fish, please.
Okay, I will go get fish. As is my want. Hi, Huthor. Hello, Kennex Cow. Hello, Asmiristar.
Perhaps you have a use for these things.
Hi, Brigwin.
Let's trade again soon.
Mama says my tusks will be bigger than a mammoth's.
So many fishes. I want to eat them all. But no, they're for Scaps. This is important.
Wanna fly kites, leader?
Scaps is going to love them, and then we're going to be the bestest of friends.
Next time, bring fish, please.
Hungry. Scaps eat tuskers. No, but Scaps eat tasty fish. Fish? What fish? So this is where you two ran off to. Oh. Now, kids, we've talked about how dangerous gnolls are. He may look cute now, but when he grows up... No, Todd, look. Scaps loves fish now. Fish, yummy. Scaps eat fish. See, Todd? Scraps just eats fish. If we could take care of him, he could be a good gnoll. Alright, we'll take him in for now. Don't be surprised when he runs off or tries to bite you. Fish. I just realized I can't show backpacks on this character. I mean, I can in my human form. Excuse me, my visage form. Oh, this is my actual gear I have on right now. I look so dorky. Because, yeah, here's Scaps now. Hello, Scaps. And he sells these. So this was something they added in Dragonflight. You know, at first I wasn't sure I liked it, but I ended up kind of liking it. I wish the interface was a little bit better, but it's a relatively minor complaint. So you're probably thinking, what is it, Laura? Well, they would sell cosmetics, and there were a lot of these cosmetics like this. But the way they worked is they cost specific items. This costs 20 cerulean spinefish and 1 large sturdy femur, 2 crafting materials. You could get these from fishing, these from skinning, and then, of course, supplies, which you get from everything. And then you can actually get this. How have I not gotten any of these? I guess I didn't bother. But you get the idea, right? It was an experiment, which I'm not sure they're going to keep doing. My god, I can glide in my visage. Look. I didn't know that. I was just muscle memorying because I main a demon hunter. Anyways, trying to say is that I like the idea. I like the idea of encouraging crafting, for lack of a better way to put it, making another way for crafting to be relevant. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. one of the best things they could do for crafting is make cosmetics. Gear, mounts, special effects, housing items.
Whoa, what are
You
you?
do this. I'm gonna take down the Yeti in this cave. I've never been any good in a fight training. All the other kids are way ahead of me. But Ma never got to see me get better. Maybe if I'm strong enough, she'll see me, and she'll be proud of me. I have a message from your mother. You were there? In Brackenhide? It must have been you. You're the adventurer that helped Brent and the others. You spoke to my ma's spirit, didn't you? She really said she's proud of me? But I've never been any good at fighting, or fishing, or anything. I have to prove myself. Rowie, you probably aren't ready to take on a Yeti by your own. You're probably right. Wait, I have an idea. You're nice.
Wanna fly kites later?
You're right. I'm not strong enough to take on this Yeti. Not alone. But you're here. The lair of the evil Yeti Toejam the Terrible is just ahead. The cave is big. Not scary. Maybe a little scary. Could you go in? Soften him up. I'll be right behind you.
Next time, bring fist, please.
I love the cave textures. Hello, Toejam. He shakes his head no. Look, I need to fight you? He looks at you with sad eyes. He picks up a nearby Autic and begins to pet it. Oh my god, okay. Could you pretend to let Rowie kill you? He cocks his head in confusion. Okay, so I'm gonna, like, I'm dead. I'm so dead. He considers and then shakes his head. Okay. There's this Tuskar kid. His mom just died. He needs some encouragement. And then someone cries over my corpse. He tries to pass you a comforting Autic, but it wriggles away. He frowns. After a moment, he mimics you pretending to die and glances at you for approval. I nod. Okay. I'll take you down, Autic thief. Oh, it's so big! No, I can do this. Your Autic stealing days are over, fiend! I did it? I did it! This power. I must use it responsibly. I must train. I'll be the greatest warrior ever. Thanks, traveler person. One day I'm going to be strong enough to beat you. No, you won't. Toejam peeks an eye open. Is it over? Toejam gives you a thumbs up. Thanks, Toejam. Appreciate you, buddy. Here, have, I don't know, some burly bear haunches. That sound good? Here you go. My demon hunter, canonically, comes by every now and again just to check up on Toejam. Usually brings him some food. No, Toejam's legit.
Come, tell us a tale.
What did you sell him? I've never seen him so spirited. Thank you for bringing him home. I'll do my best to take care of him.
We'll remember you.
So, yeah, did you catch that, by the way? Let me try to explain, like, reason number 57 why I love Dragonflight. It's the structure of it. Quests like those, like the one we just did, are not exactly unknown in WoW mythos, right? Like, we've had good side quests. Frankly, going as far back as vanilla, right? That's hard for me to admit that, but it's true. We have had good side quests as far back as vanilla. But what makes Dragonflight work better? Think about the pacing. Those side quests we just did do not unlock until we finish the major story quest, the main story quest we just did. In other words, they know that if you're doing all the content, which we are, our pacing, our sequence of events is going to be, we enter the zone, we go to the Azure Archives. Kalecgos is lonely and sad. He encounters Sindragosa 2.0. He interacts with her a bit. We head north. We find out that there's this weird thing going on with the decay. Things get worse and worse and worse until we get all the way to Brackenhide Hollow, at which point Kalecgos and the surviving Tuskar help us to push back against the Brackenhide and try to reduce the levels of this decay magic, whatever they're doing. After that, we are invited for there's like a moment of breather as we go to Iskara. We have the funeral, and then immediately after the funeral, we unlock a quest where we go help a Knoll pup right after the Knoll quests, and we deal with one of the children whose parents just died in the quests we just did. And we help him to regain his courage by interacting with an adorable Yeti. That connecting through line, that specific placement of when you interact with what, is part of what I love about Dragonflight so much. But I do believe... Yep, okay. Let's go turn in a couple of things. Hi, Loke. Sorry, you caught me in mid-speech there. So what have you missed? You've missed a huge chunk of the Azure span. We're going to do some wrap-up here. I'd say we are the overwhelming majority of the way through it. I also realize we're going to have to spend one day just doing dragon racing, so I'm going to have to tell Blade Tafal to not watch that one. And anybody with motion issues, because dragon racing, you got to pay attention. Sorry, Brigman. Yeah, I've been thinking about the dragon racing. I've decided to treat dragon racing as it's kind of its own thing. Because it's content, right? It is by definition secondary content. But it's good, solid content. And it's not a weekly, it's not a daily. It's not, it shows up once a year. Dragon races are just there. It could be Lanareth, I don't know. I am admittedly in theory land when it comes to why Dragonflight is so good. Dragon flying, sorry, the dragon racing, is definitely going to be some gameplay positives. I guarantee it. But I think we might even have a narrative one or two, depending on which ones, because some of the later ones take you on some really interesting tours. Also true, Magister.
What can I do for you? Off with you.
Excellent job, Zerviles. This will go a long way in helping the Bruffelin prosper, and hopefully show our Tuskar neighbours we're also good stewards of the land. I can learn a lesson from Bloodhorn. Just because we're stomping through this beautiful place doesn't give us the right to do what we want with it. Listen, if we can't conquer this place like we tried to do at Northrend, I don't even know. Come on, man.
See you soon.
You remember that, Grizzly Hills? Both sides were like, this place is rich in resources.
Watch your back. Off with you.
Oh, this brings me no joy, but I'll hang this tusk in a place of honor. Thank you.
Safe travels.
You're welcome. I believe we have essentially swept now, except for MSQ. We can try to see if we can get the painter quest. Let's go and poke at it before we wrap up the MSQ for the zone. I mean, we've already got several dungeon quests. The Nakud Offensive. The Nakud Offensive. The Nakud Offensive! And Neltharis. Sometimes I know I've done this quest, but I'm pretty sure this is one of those things where I was just flying around and I saw an exclamation mark. I was like, what's that? And just beelined it. As is my wont. Look, Kraken-san. It could have been worse. There he is. Oh, guest, welcome. Would you like to see my painting collection?
Aspect's grace shine down on you.
Do you like my collection? These are all the work of the greatest painter that ever lived, Hudson. They're rare and probably valuable. He's a recluse and hasn't painted anything in a while. Oh, but I'd love to meet him, or to learn from him. You seem like the bold type. Would you find him for me? Here, take some of my work. Maybe he'll be impressed. Or maybe he'll think I'm terrible. Oh, dear.
May the flights protect us.
I don't think you have anything to worry about here, buddy. Yeah, you're fine. Oh, he's describing him. So that one's Vengeance of the Sea, one of Hudson's early works, a depiction of an old Tuskar tale. That one's Peaks Rise. See how he points to the peaks, contrast to the softer lines of the land and water below. Masterwork of composition. I didn't know he gave those little tidbits. That is Dusk Upon the Mountain, one of Hudson's last known pieces. Observe the melancholy colored palette with the stability of the composition. Sad, but safe. Oh yeah, by the way, the name of this quest is The Joy of Painting. And in case you don't
Decay
know that,
still lingers in this place.
that was the name of Bob Ross's painting show. Hudson, dear, can you pass me the mussels? I sure can, darling.
Come, settle down for a spell.
What's this, a painting?
Now I have a story to
His
tell.
face falls. Hudson, what's wrong? It's no use. I have no will to paint. How can I teach another? Leave me be.
A stranger here?
I came all this way. I'm sorry. My dear Hudson used to love painting. It was his life. I don't know what caused the block. A few weeks ago on his way back from a painting trip, he took all his unfinished paintings and threw them away in a fit of rage. Please, if you don't mind, could you find them? There's one in the Ruby Life Pools, one in the Naku Defensive, and one in the Brackenhide Hollow.
Farewell then, friend.
Hudson used to paint morning to night, but a few months after I met him, he stopped. Try not to press him about it. He always seems so happy when we're together. But as soon as something reminds him of his art, he gets like this. I wish I knew how to help him. The name of this quest is Sad Little Accidents. Fresh reminder that Bob Ross was just kind of legit. It is rare that someone gets that level of broad appeal, that someone is that large of a star and is still just kind of a decent human being. Yeah, no, Bob Ross, He was a good one.
These ruins are teeming with magic ley lines. We must gather all the energy
Yeah,
we can.
he went through some stuff in his life. I actually have had the misfortune of seeing the episode that he recorded. I don't know the timing. It was after his wife died. I don't know if it was right after his wife died. I don't know if it was days or months or years later, but it was the first time he ever really spoke of it on camera.
A pleasure.
There's magic in everything.
We'll get back to the dungeons in a bit, don't worry. I never expected to learn so much from the Tuskar. I think I'll visit when I can and maintain those bonds of friendship.
Fair skies and strong...
I can no longer be afraid of reuniting the Blue Dragons. It's better for us to be a family than a fragment of our former selves. Even if I cannot reclaim the Oathstone, I can still use its power to send a message to all the Blue Dragons. It's time they received word from their aspect.
All will be well. Keep safe. I hope that worked. I need my flight.
We will see in due time.
Who's the first one who responds?
Khadgar, what's happened?
The Primalists are on the move.
The
It
Primalists.
seems we did far too well at stymieing their efforts at Vakthros. Razageth has renewed the attack herself.
If Vakthros falls, the whole of the Azure Span will fall with it.
Quickly then, we must stop her before all is lost. Hopefully, we won't have to face her alone.
I'm right here!
Vakthros is connected to the major ley lines in Azure Span. If it is destroyed, the archives would cease to exist, along with the rest of the Azure Span.
I don't suppose any more blue dragons showed up to help?
Not yet. It will be up to us to stop this.
It's okay, we have two Archmages. A ghost simulacra of an Archmage. Oh yeah, and me. I think we got this.
It's good to see you again.
Like, I'm sorry, guys, these are bandits. We got this.
Good luck.
Razageth and the Primalists are launching an all-out assault on Vakthros. We cannot let her succeed. Khadgar and I will go handle the situation in the sky. Make your way to the Ronin's Shield, one of the last Kirin Tor camps in the area. You may be able to get there faster riding the Dragoors from the top of the archive. See to it that the Kirin Tor are alright, and then make your way to Vakthros.
Fly true.
Child, you cannot show any mercy to Razageth. She has made her choice.
I understand.
No, you do not. You have a kind soul. I know you hesitate at the thought of fighting any more of your own kind. I showed too much mercy once. Twice. Many times. Before long, it was too late.
You speak of Neltharion's betrayal.
Do not make my mistake, young one. There can be no mercy without justice. Remember that.
Thank you, Sindragosa. I will.
I hope you truly do, my dear.
Yeah, one of the things I've always liked about Sindragosa 2, very specifically 2, is the fact that she is not an idiot. And she picked up very quickly on what happened to Sindragosa 1. Now, I know, we're going to cover that in more detail later, but even here, you can tell she's like, okay. Yeah, alright. I mentioned that because it kind of informs her disposition, I think. It also helps to more or less immediately distinguish her from Sindragosa 1. Yeah, our Syndragos are cracked in half. Oh, that was before the second Lich King ripped her up.
Brawlhall.
I saw Kalecgos and Khadgar go towards the mountain a moment ago. We're holding out our own to the Primalists here, but we can always use more help.
For the Horde. Strength.
Could you go kill some
May your
Protodrakes?
blades
I love killing Protodrakes. It's one of my favorite things to do. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, die. Die. Oh, I love watching the light leave their eyes. Sorry, what were we talking about? Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. I have killed Protodrakes.
Speak, friend. Be safe. Go forth to victory.
It's a sight to behold up there. Khadgar and Kalecgos fighting the Primalists in the sky. They've summoned mirror images to help themselves through the monstrous hole the Primalists have created. One pair is at the base of the mountains right now. If things start to look bad, well, I'll get word out to the rest in the Azure Span.
May your blades never dull.
Yeah, the blue kind of took the brunt of that initial surprise assault. By kind of, I mean, the blue took the initial brunt of that initial blind betrayal.
I'll reinforce the wards around the tower and keep Razageth busy.
I'll join you once I deal with these proto-dragons and the swath of elemental magic barraging me from the ground.
So I love the earth shaping that the elementalists do, the primalists do. Because, I mean, it looks exactly like it literally looks like they just took the earth and were like, there we go.
How can I help?
This is worse than I could have expected. There was no time to lose.
Fair skies
You didn't stop to kill
strong winds.
any Protodrakes in the sky, did you? No. Khadgar and I are doing our best to hold off the Primalists, but we can't push any further towards the tower. We need you to weaken their ground forces so we can get closer to Razageth and stop her before it's too late. Make your way to the Primalists ahead. If I can maintain concentration, there will be another mirror image waiting.
Come back soon.
There is much we can learn here.
The Primalists have torn apart the mountain to send their forces streaming to Vakthros. I spied some lava orbs in the initial corridor that they've been using to spread more of their elemental chaos. Destroy them to help slow their advance. I'll do what I can from up here to help Kalecgos.
Be vigilant, friend.
Kalecgos and I are under heavy fire in the skies above the mountain. The Primalists are unrelenting and their army endless. Soon Kalecgos and I may be overrun, but I have a plan. The base of the mountain is a disturbed orc named Reuven Stonegrinder. Akira and Tor fought her numerous times. She holds a device that can absorb and redirect elemental energies. Take it from her.
For Azeroth.
I can do that.
Razageth, I am giving you one chance to stop this insanity!
Your flight lies in ruins. What good did clinging to Titan magic do for you? At least your predecessor was an aspect to be feared. You play with powers you do not understand.
I am no stranger to putting down maddened dragons, Razageth. You will be nothing more than a footnote in our history.
Now, the funny thing is, he's absolutely right. Other than, you know, mocking and beriding her, how much relevance does Razageth have, really, other than being the footnote of being the one who let out the other ones? Fyrakk, despite also being kind of a nothing burger, has a much bigger footprint than she does. That person does not know how to play Warlock. It's okay, though. You notice how this is like the, I think, God, like the 20th time in Dragonflight that, you know, some other player and I have just been legit and helping each other quest. It is weird how much this keeps happening. I'm not complaining. I'm just commenting. She's the doorman. I like that. I mean, Matt Mercer knows what he's doing when it comes to playing big, hammy villains, so yeah. And yeah, Firewreck is at least more interesting to behold. Is she not... Do you not need this? Okay. Yeah, and then the other two are actually interesting characters. Razageth's just there, like I said. Speaking of this expansion going well, I know I mentioned I'm not really looking at the positive numbers, and I'm not. You know what I am looking at? The negatives. Check this out. Of the 7 story negatives we've actually given so far, 6 of them are directly for the Primalists. By the way, I stand behind that. Yes, you missed the boss. Don't worry, boss is right there. Go and tag it. Here you go.
I stand with you.
Good work. Some of the forces are diverting from
Together,
above.
we can achieve anything.
That should slow them down a bit. Seems I'm getting rusty compared to the fight with the Burning Legion. Has been a few years. The elemental focus should prove useful if you can recover it.
Come back in one piece.
There we go. You'll need that for what comes next.
Be vigilant, friend.
The Primalist attacked our expedition. I feared our mages were lost to us. Seems they were taken or being tortured. Please rescue them. Why are they... Okay, whatever.
Come back in one piece.
I'm afraid it's becoming harder to maintain my mirror images. The Primalists are focusing their efforts in tearing me out of the sky. Not to worry. I have a plan. I need you to take the orb you recovered and gather elemental magic from slain Primalists. We'll need that energy to divert their forces away from me.
All will be well.
Caught.
Their assaults are overwhelming. I cannot maintain the mirror images any longer.
Kaligos!
Yep. Dragon Hunters and Mage Hunters turned to banditry. So we've got X-Twilight Hammer, we've got X-Dragon Hunters, we've got X-Mage Hunters. They wanted to torture us for using arcane magic. Oh my gosh, these people. What else? There were several other groups we decided would, like, coalesce into the Primalists. I guess anarchists in general. Oh yeah, the Dragon Maw. Yep. Remember this area? I farmed this to get my Furbog rep up. They're trying to make a new horde. Bell Orcs? Eh. Oh, yeah, all the Dark Shamans, yep. Any survivors of the Purge of Garrosh's group. Any survivors of the Purge of Sylvanas' group.
You fumble with arcane magic. and spread its use like a blight upon this world.
Blah, blah, blah.
This power is meant to be studied and harnessed, not feared. You would kill those who seek to use it for the greater good?
I will eradicate your insignificant kind and end your meddling with the unnatural.
Survivors of Dalen. You know, I just realized part of why I hate Razageth, and the Primalists in general. For a while there was this really big push in several works of fiction, most notably Star Trek, at least from my perspective, towards technology bad, is the simplest way to put that. You probably know what I'm talking about, especially if you lived during that era. Yeah, getting back to nature, getting away from all this terrible thing, blah, 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 blah. And it's dumb. It's so dumb on so many levels. It always was. And seeing that, just, no. I don't know what else to add to that. No. And that's the Primalists in a nutshell. Like, she literally just said that to Khadgar. We need to revert to monkey. Yeah, I say it somewhat flippantly, but I do mean, with total sincerity, I like having indoor plumbing, thanks. Yeah, I like having vaccines. I mean, what they describe as their ideal end state is essentially a true anarchy. I shouldn't say true, if that's inaccurate. Is a violent anarchy. No nothing. Just whoosh. That didn't kill them all. Holy crap. Oh no, 100%. They straight up want the world to go back to the way it was before the old god bullets showed up. And we actually know a bit about what, you know, they're going on with. What the world was like back then. It wasn't fun. I'm not saying I disagree, Huthor, but I hope you can at least understand why, after literal years of hearing this nonsense rhetoric, I'm just sort of automatically against it anytime I hear it. Even if it's well written, I'm just like, ugh, this again? It's like the HVA. It doesn't matter how well you write it. If you bring the HVA back, I'm just like, ugh. Anyways, bandits. Let's kill these elemental bandits. And their anarchist overlords. Listen, the good old days were so much better than now. Good old days before things like, you know. I'm done. Caligos, you doing okay up there? Looks like you are not.
Knowledge is power. Keep your guard.
You have my thanks. We cannot forsake anyone in this
For
fight.
Azeroth.
The Primalists are using these massive orbs to hold off Calicos. At this rate, Calicos will be too injured to continue the fight. If he falls, I won't be able to fend off Razageth. The Empowered Gem you hold should allow you to disguise yourself as an elemental. Use the gem to destroy the orbs. That should give Calicos room. I will focus my attention on shielding the tower.
Be vigilant, friend. I will focus my efforts on shielding the tower. As long as that stands, we have a chance to stop Razageth.
Me elemental, me good. Be against puny arcane. Arcane bad. Fire good. Yes, arcane very bad. Death to arcane. I mean, Fyrex motivation is more or less literally let the world burn. So, yeah. We'll talk more about that in the final patch. Quickly. Yeah. That's right, an arcane killed my puppy when I was a child. I knew on that day I must become Arcane Man. Alright, random elevator pitch idea. Superhero story, but each superhero is empowered by one of the fundaments of power from Warcraft. So you have a death hero, you have a elemental hero, you have a life hero, shadow, light.
I can use my mirror images once more. Meet me within the nearby cavern.
Bell. Me having trouble. Me big and fat. Too many cookies. Fire cookies, of course. Best kind of cookies. Yes.
Over here. I found an area to take cover for a moment.
We need a cookie mental.
This world is full of wonder.
It's time, Zerviles. The Primalist forces in the air are dwindling now that you've handled things on the ground. Razageth is calling in one of her lieutenants to reinforce the forces, thanks to your efforts. I'll need you to handle that monster while I push forward to fight Razageth. Look for my magic during the fight. I'll do what I can. It's time for Razageth to taste the fury of an aspect of magic.
Good luck.
I mean, I agree these are basically Trump supporters, but what's really interesting to me,
The aspect of magic.
personally,
I will put an end to you and your pathetic flight.
is if the Primalists had just chilled for a bit, we could have hit War Within, where we finally start doing something about the Titans. Start. Obviously, that's going to be the next 3 expansions. Okay. Boss fight. I mean, Virnoth's still there, so she might still be like, wow, huh, you did it. It's like, yeah. It really does, Uthorn. It's kind of pathetic. You know, at about this point, Caligos is like, okay, I'm ready to help you with that fight. Oh, he's dead. Huh.
Adventurer, you made it not a moment too soon. Razageth is draining the tower of its energy.
Oh yeah, we might have another story negative. Yes! Oh, sweet. Sweet negatives. I've missed you so. Shadowlands left me spoiled. It's like a drought going through Dragonflight. Scraping negatives out of the narrative.
The magic here is older than humanity itself. Astonishing.
Razageth is attempting to rip all the arcane magic out of the tower so she can destroy it. Caligos is doing what he can to hold her back. I am using my magic to try and replenish the ley energy. Fear will not match us longer. As we speak, more Primalists are making their way to overwhelm us. Take my disc. Hold them off. Hope for a miracle.
Don't let the magic dazzle.
Your cause is hopeless. Soon this land will lie in ruins, just like your dragon flight. Pathetic mortals, cowering behind the blue dragons and their Titan magic. You
Oh my
will
god.
die alongside them.
Oh my god. Yeah, first of all, Cadger's theme. Second of all, replace Titan magic or Titan ordering or whatever with whatever it is they're using as the other nowadays. And it suddenly fits perfectly, doesn't it? It's all those foreigners' fault, right? God. It's the woke! It's the woke! You cower behind them. It's DEI! Cowering behind the DEI and their tolerance and equality. What's funny is this, well, timeline-wise, that makes sense. That's what I'm going to say to that. As I'm going to kill like a few hundred of your troops. Is that cool? You mind if I just wipe out half your army?
There, below.
I mean, as said it before, the Warrior of Light is stronger than the main characters in Warcraft. Oh, there it is. Pay attention more.
Minions of the storm, hear my call!
What's funny is this really is the final quest from the end of the Warlord's intro.
Shield won't last much longer.
Just a little bit better. I'm with it.
I may not be able to destroy this tower, but I will have my prize!
No, that's this.
Weakling, you need a mortal to defend you. Abominations, both of you, and you will perish here, cold and alone.
He is not alone.
Predictable? Yeah. Awesome? Yeah. I love that it's Senegos. I love that it's Senegos.
You have failed, Aspect. You will soon learn that killing you would have been a mercy. Now you can watch your empire collapse alongside your false queen.
And yeah, you caught that was Emmy, right? Emigosa. She's right there. He? She? I think it's a she. Doesn't matter. They're right there. They're all grown up now. Well, they're getting there. And yeah, there's Stellagosa. By the way, Senegos's visage is a freaking troll. And I don't know why, but God, that fits. He's an old, battered troll with like flicks of, what do you call that? Salt and pepper hair. I don't know, just that I don't even know how to describe it. That just fits immediately. The moment I saw that, I was like, yep, that's Senegos right there. Yeah, trolls are one of the original races of the planet, so it makes sense. Like, we have to pull some technicalities to come up with races that are older than the trolls. So yeah, real quick, did you catch this? This is actually a little bit of a gameplay indicator too. So there's the Wyvern model, which we use for the bronze. There's your standard Drake model, and over here's the Velocidrake model. This is one of those probably was always like this kind of things. In other words, this is a retcon because they didn't have the model, the mesh, the technology, and the graphics in order to actually showcase this. But the idea is that the dragons have always had varieties like this. We'll see a bit more of that as we go through.
I'm glad you've come.
Razageth has fled. Vakthros is stabilized. And more blue dragons arrived. I think we can rest for a moment.
Fly true.
The Azure span has stabilized for now, and more blue dragons have arrived. Just in time. It's time to return to the Azure archives and reclaim the Oathstone. I would request your presence. Been a great boon, this horrible ordeal. Oh yeah, by the way, someone said this in the middle of that cutscene. Forgive me, I didn't catch who it was. Hug! But, hang on, one more. Scritch, 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 scritch. Okay, there we go. Had to give it your scritches. Part of why I didn't like the Primalists was it constantly struck me as weird that they were in any way threatening, because I've been playing this game since vanilla. We killed Lei Shen. We've been to space, we defeated a Titan, we came back from the afterlife, and then I fight a bunch of elemental bandits, and my whole attitude the whole time is just, really? I'm not going to walk back from that, because honestly, that was my very visceral and initial impression. But the Primalists make a really good starter villain, don't they? You know what I mean by that. The relatively low tier, relatively low threat thing that's there to kind of introduce concepts and characters, let you cut your teeth on it, right? They're also there. Usually a really well done starter villain usually helps to establish the bigger villains behind them. Oh, hey, Xalatath, Iridikron. And yeah, it's interesting looking at it from the perspective because, yeah, the Dragonflight, the Dragon Isles being the new starter experience suddenly reframes a lot of this.
Well met, friend.
Which I wasn't thinking of when I went through it, because I was thinking of it as I just got out of Shadowlands. The Azure span has stabilized for now, and more blue dragons have arrived. Just in time. Time to return to the Azure archives and reclaim the Oathstone. I would request your presence there. Oh, I just read this, sorry.
All will be well. Please, return to the Azure archives. Sindragosa is awaiting our return, and we should be able to reclaim the Oathstone.
Sindragosa? She has returned from the grave.
Nah, man.
I'll explain on the way. Let's go.
And I thought I had seen it all in my old age.
Hi, Emmy. Sorry. You don't know me, but you know my alternate self. Huh? Don't worry about it. And yeah, no, as much as I dislike giving validity to some of the noise around Dawntrail, it could be that some of the more valid critiques of Dawntrail are specifically that. The idea that any of Dawntrail is threatening to us. If you remember, I was actually very specifically critical of that in Dawntrail. But they only really stumbled on it, like, twice Maybe 3 times, depending on how you define it. For the most part, my opinion, and I did a review, so I have a defined opinion here. Dawn Trail did a pretty good job of making it clear that we were just sitting in the back munching on popcorn most of the time. And I'm with that, honestly. Like, we're letting other people take the front stage because none of this is really threatening. And the moment it became threatening, we stepped in and said, hey, you don't mind if I knock out half your army, do you? I need to write that quote down so I can start quoting it word for word. True. Dawn Trail isn't really a new player experience, because there is no such thing in FF14. There's just the same new player experience there always has been.
These ruins are teeming with magic ley lines.
Not now. Thank you. Don't make me do that world quest just to shut you up, okay?
The blue dragonflight is but a shadow of its former glory.
Keep safe.
I mean, at that point, that's just FF14 to go to. Exactly, Blue Snow.
It seems the mortal races have flourished. Tell me, what have you learned, child of my flight? What is your oath?
We've been scattered for far too long. Isolated. But a dragon flight is more than an oath we make. We are a family. And it's time I brought my family home.
I do believe you are ready, Caligos.
Yeah, by the way, does anyone know when the Terragosa quest happens? I haven't seen it yet. I think so, yeah.
You are a fascinating one.
The Oath Stone is empowered once more. There's much to do, but the Azure Span is at least returning to what it once was.
Farewell then, young one.
Ah, and now, finally, it's time for Valdrakken. Thanks to you, we narrowly avoided a complete catastrophe. However, we should convene with the other aspects and share word of what happened here. Please meet me at the seat of the aspects.
I depart for Valdrakken shortly, hero. Don't wait for me. I'll be there when you arrive.
So, yes, this is the first time you go to Valdrakken. So, this is, ironically, pretty similar to Wrath. If you remember, in Wrath, when Wrath was new, I gotta phrase it that way, you would have quest chains that go through, like, these initial steps, which is Borean, Howling, Good Afternoon, the purple is terrifying, Grizzly Hills, Zuldrak, and Dragos, like pretty much all the southern zones, right? And then, somewhere through here, every major town had an NPC, which was Aethys, I believe, who had a quest to say, go to Dalaran. Then you'd go to Dalaran, and then it would spread out from there to Zuldrak, Storm Peaks, Icecrown, and Sholazar. Not in that order, it's actually more like Sholazar, Zuldrak, Storm Peaks, Icecrown. So, you get the idea, though, right? Putting the capital city in the middle of the expansion that's not the first time they've done that. In fact, if that sounds familiar, Hellfire Peninsula, Zangarmarsh, Shattrath, right? As of right now, I would say yes, this is a good time to get into World of Warcraft. Dragonflight is a good first-player experience. War Within is an excellent expansion, and they're doing a lot to make most aspects of the game good, no matter what it is what you're after. Good class design, we got that. Good PvP stuff, we got that. Mythic Plus, we got that. Delves for gearing up, we got that. Good raids, we got that. Good story, best it's ever been. We are in a weird golden age of MMOs right now. As all the big three, and arguably all the big six, are doing really well right now. So, Valdrakken. I think I'm actually Hearthed there. Yeah, I am. Probably not. But then again, don't quote me on that. I just pay a sub, so I'm not super familiar with it. If anybody here does the gold grind to pay their sub, jump in on that. I'm pretty sure let's actually talk to shop right now. Where's the token?
The magic surrounding this
260k right now.
wild. This untamed
WoW, FF14, Guild Wars 2, RuneScape, and Black Desert Online are usually considered the big five, with ESO kind of trailing down there as the number 6 slot. ESO and Black Desert Online kind of trade blows pretty often, and RuneScape is off in its own corner doing its own thing. So it's technically the big 3, the 1, and then the big 2. But a lot of people just call it the big 6. So, before we jump into this, we're mostly done with the Azure spin. I want to jot down some notes really quick here. Give me 1 second, please. Yeah, in many ways, and this is both a compliment and an insult, RuneScape is kind of the Nintendo of MMOs. They're just doing their own thing. They don't care. They do whatever the hell they want to. I should mention when I say RuneScape, I mean all of the various versions of RuneScape. Just like how WoW is actually WoW, and then Season of Discovery, and then Classic, and then Modern Classic. And... Rewind a live video. Oh, you mean just being able to, like, seek back? I think you can do that, but it's a pain. I do agree with you regardless, Loke. But listen, making Twitch better is unacceptable. We have to make Twitch demonstrably worse every patch because... reasons. The weird thing is, usually in crapification, it's not actually what it's called. It's called something worse than that. It has a specific benefit. The idea is that you're supposed to make something cheaper and easier to maintain by getting rid of features, right? That way you can make more money on it now that people are sold on it. That's the actual financial process of it. Not something I'm super in favor of, but you can see the logic behind it at least. Problem there is that what they've been doing with things like Twitch and YouTube is they haven't been making it cheaper, they've been just making it worse. Like spending money to make additional features or aspects of it that reduce the quality of the product. Like, what are you doing? Why? Now, the answer is very obvious. We presume there's some level of intent or competency there, when, of course, there is none. Why would they feel threatened? Who's going to actually push against them? Yeah, we always assume profit motive, but a lot of those things are run by people who have absolutely no idea what they're doing. Oh yeah, exactly. Sometimes people just need an excuse to keep getting their paycheck. That is always the goal, Loke. We'll call it lore Twitch. No, that sounds awful. Twitch runner? No, that's still terrible. We'll workshop it. Actually, jokes aside, we already came up with a name for our own streaming service. We're going to call it Stream It. Quick, easy to say, immediately indicative. Not much to add to that, really. Just one moment. There we go. Okay. Stream it. Stream it. This. Okay. So, Mr. Red, do you like the Honor in Plains? I do too. Funny how that works out. Thing is, let's look at that from both directions. In overall score, the Honor in Plains was about the level of quality of Ardenweald and Revendreth. Now that's high. In fact, that makes it in, I believe, the top 10 of zones ever. Like, that's up there with the Tiragard Sound and Zuldazar, right? That's really, really good. The Honor in Plains got about half the overall score of either the Waking Shores or the Azure Span. And I think that says it all right there. I know we've all said this, but I'm kind of gratified to see that the numbers back that up. The Honor in Plains is very good and is crushed by the Waking Shores and by the Azure Span. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Red. Because I do rather enjoy the Honor in Plains. It is probably the weakest of the four, of the six, really. But still. So now, we're going to be boring for a minute. Let's do Valdrakken. First and foremost, part of the reason I got all the way up here is I wanted to show you the full architecture. Look at that for a second. The distance I'm at probably doesn't fully convey how huge that is. But the fact that there's that much fog in the way probably does a good job for me. It is absolutely ginormous. And of course, there's this wonderful flow to this place. And it's very vertical. All of these things make sense for various reasons. Yeah, we went from Oribos to this, for Christ's sakes. Let's start with the basics. Gameplay. So, there's several hearth spots, but this is what we're going to call our primary hearth location, right here. I actually am already hearthed here. Let's ignore the doodads, the brickwork, and the visual storytelling stuff, along with the NPCs. Let's just skip all that for right now. Let's focus on gameplay, because we're going to have to take Valdrakken in bites, because this city is crazy good. This might actually be the single best city in the entire game, and I mean that over Dornegal. What is that? Sorry, hang on. Oh, it's two. He's got two mazes. Oh, that's a cool look. Anyways, hi Xavion. So we start off hearthed here. There's a few vendors and a few stuff, and it's obviously an amazing looking spot. But again, pure gameplay, pure gameplay. Quick jaunt outside. Obviously, there's a mailbox right there. That's nothing new. Yes, I've actually been into the secret room. I don't remember what's in there, but I've been in there. It's back through here. I forget what to do to get it. Oh. No? Well, anyways, there's a secret room through here. I forget how to get in there. Moving on. We'll come back to it. So here's our central hub right here. As always, the central hub is kind of, from a gameplay perspective, you want things to be sense-make in how their layout is, and you don't want to waste the player's time in getting from point A to point B. Now, Valdrakken's kind of unique, and things are actually a little bit more spread out than usual, but that makes sense for the reason that that's obvious. But even if you're just walking around on foot, this central hub, which is kind of large, still has all of the basics right next to each other. There's your auction house, right over there. Over here is most of your major weekly and daily quest guys. Like this guy's going to have a weekly quest. That guy's going to have a weekly quest. And this woman over here is going to have a weekly quest. Most of the major MSQ starter quests are going to be right here, too. Like, there's going to be one right over here with Caligos. There's going to be one with Chandris right over here. I noticed she's not even here. That's interesting. You got to have Dragon Pepe. Very important. Over here is our event person. In fact, it looks like there is actually an event right now. I'm guessing this is the Dark Moon Fair.
So many possible.
Nope, that's the Kalimdor Cup. Never mind. And then, over here's the bank, which also happens to include the vault. You notice I can't interact with this anymore, but I'm just mentioning it for the sake of historical relevance. Hi, Pillars of Snow. I like your colors. I notice you have the same damn shoulders I do, though. Of course. So, as you can see... Yeah, oh, by the way, yeah, sorry, I should show at least a little bit on this. I'm trying not to do the story aspect of this yet. Just the gameplay, but yeah, there's just this... You can't even see the full depths of the dragon horde behind her. It just goes into the distance. There's just gold. That's true. This is one of the very, very first approaches to this when it comes to auction house design. You also notice it lags a little bit. That's just because there's so many players here. Look at how many players here. By the way, something else they did right. If we go up this staircase right here, there's Orgrimmar and there's Stormwind. Still. Which means even to this day, there's a value in staying hearthed here. This is probably at least part of the reason so many players keep going through here. Yeah, by the way. Yeah, lost the camera. There we go. Also, lovely mural. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. You're probably thinking, what's the other benefit of this room? Well, obviously, we got the portal rooms. But the big thing about this expansion, the back of the box feature, is dragon flying. There's a teleporter right here. We even have a quest to do it. An MSQ just told us to do that quest. Relevance? This is a very easy to reach spot that is very high up. If we're going anywhere in the Waking Shores, anywhere in the Honoran Plains, or anywhere in the Azure Span, we're in a good position to do it. Also, anywhere in Valdrakken. This is a launch pad. Darkwing Duck reference. And this is the other reason why it's not a huge deal that the city is as spread out as it is. You notice that that raceway design continues in the city layout. You notice how the roads seem relatively wide and nice, big, smooth curves? This is why, right here. This is the reason. It's so that even if you're zipping around at 130 miles an hour, you can still have a pretty good job of navigating it. So already we've got good hub design, and then we've got great hub design. Let's talk about the rest of the city really quick. So, here we have the first tier of the crafting area. A lot of this is extra side bonusy stuff, but there's a whole bunch of stuff here, which will get more relevant as we get further in. There's a few of the trainers, there's these wonderful people from the Artisans Consortium, all kinds of stuff like that up here. Nothing too fancy, but there's a few relevant things here. That's a good question, Linnerith. I'm not even sure it's possible. Down here... So here we start to get into the real crafting things. There's skinning and leatherworking, by the way, under the same tent, literally. Over here's a fun one. There's a sommelier right there, for God's sakes. And a fishmonger. And, of course, a cheesemonger. And, of course, Of course they have a cheesemonger. Of course they have floating cheese. Do you not know where you are? Sorry. We're talking gameplay. We'll get there. Over here's tailoring, and, of course, our looms. Gotta have our looms. Very important. Oh yeah, we've also got a random vendor here
Greetings,
who
traveler.
can help us with profession equipment, which is a new feature in Dragonflight. Over here is enchanting, near the tailoring, of course. Those two have long been together. I need to go up. Up 1 half step, up 1 half step. Turn to the left. Over here is mining. Yeah, this probably is what they were envisioning when they did Wormrest. And of course, here's blacksmithing and weaponsmithing, all kinds of fun stuff in here. And up here is more blacksmithing, because you gotta have blacksmithing. There's a lot of black dragons of the blacksmithing. I'm not sure if there's any relevance there. I'm just commenting on it. Over here is engineering. I happen to like the fact that there's a black talon with the engineers. I don't know, it just kind of fits for me. But also, I love this guy's outfit. I can get a proper shot of it. Oh my god, there's people everywhere in the way. Yeah, let's try this. There we go. I don't know, it just works for me. And I believe this is PvP in here. As usual, there's guards who can say, hey, where am I? Yep, nope, this is PvP. Scourge of the Flightless. And of course, we've got all the training dummies. You gotta have training dummies. There's your Conquest and your Honor Quartermasters. I wonder if any of this stuff is...
Best goods in the Isles.
It's level 70. That's funny. That is a lot of stuff to unlock. Wow. Yeah, one of these days I might actually do an honor grind on a few characters just to get some tokens, just to get some options.
I am always at your service.
Also, elite
Looking for
combo
something
summon.
in particular.
And an item upgrader's in here.
All Valdrakken.
There's actually several item upgraders around. That's just the one I always use for some reason. That and the one in the Emerald Dream. Yeah, notice the HVA is still gone. They outlast the HVA being gone. It just keeps goning and goning. Over here, we have one of our grind things, which is...
Finest goods in the Isles.
Flightstones.
Fair sky.
I forget what Flightstones got you, to be quite honest with you. And you get Elemental Overflow to buy some gear. This is some starter gear. Let's just call this what it is.
May you find what you seek.
Another item upgrader, by the way. Over here, right next to the item upgrader and the gear thing is... I swear it was over here. Maybe I'm wrong. No, this is it. This is it. I'm just an idiot. It's over here. This is the Do Dungeons area. I think. I swear. Maybe I don't say it because I'm not 70. But this is the Do Dungeons room. This is where you get vector quests, dailies or weeklies or whatever it actually was to go do various dungeons. I'll go ahead and grab that quest over here. I do believe that's mostly it from a gameplay perspective. Because, yeah, this is a little story area which we don't even have access to yet. And then over there's some narrative stuff. Over there are some quests. And, just to discuss it, there's the map, which you'll notice is literally color-coded, even if you couldn't tell. You know, this area is green. This area is, sorry, it's actually said Emerald Enclave, Obsidian Enclave, Sapphire Enclave, Ruby Enclave, and Bronze Enclave. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. There's two I forgot. My bad. Interestingly, the portal is not here, which I suppose makes sense. So over here is the Bronze Enclave. I don't remember much over here other than an alternate Hearthstone. But I do remember up here. There's this thing they're working on. I'm sure it won't be relevant.
Yep, what do you want?
Oh, we can just skip to the Engine of Innovation. That's interesting.
Have a good one.
We'll come back to that too. And then down here we have the Garden, which is also herbalism, I'm pretty sure. Oops. Overshot. Overshot. Is it here? Oh, God. Is this the garden? I think this is the garden. This looks like the garden. Yes. Okay. Garden area. Greens.
Ah, the great outdoors.
Yeah, there's... So, gameplay-wise, I have seen better cities. Dalaran is a better city gameplay-wise, for example. But this is still a pretty well laid out city, and the fact that it's designed around dragon flaying, admittedly kind of helps. Dragon flying, not flaying. I'm just going to chill here for a sec and jot down a couple of notes. Oh yeah, also right there is where the portal to the Mystic Hub used to be. You'll notice it's also in the central square. Yeah, sorry, we have to flay dragons. My bad. Okay, so now we have to talk about the narrative side of Valdrakken. I don't even know where to begin with this. This is daunting. Okay. Okay, so let's start with the central square area. No, actually, I'm going to take that back. Let's go over here. Nope, still going to change my mind. Yeah, this is probably what Rivendell is supposed to look like. There we go. Hang on, I'll hit the auction house. No, just give me a second, because first I want to do the most zoomed out look possible. Oh, right, I also need to jot down something here. Okay. So we're going to start by talking about brickwork. This is a mountain that the city has been carved out of. Everything about it indicates that. Even the stone is kind of rough. It's carved stone, but you can still see it. Like, it's not polished stone. You know what I mean? And so you can really feel that this place used to be part of the mountain it is jutting out of. We've also got the very clearly Titan aqueducts going into very clearly Titan facilities, like that one. I can't, it's too far away. I can't ping it. There we go. Over there. Yep, tier hold. We'll get there. You can actually see the magic from Amir Giselle right here. Anyways, giant, imposing edifice, but it's also, it looks like a nest, which, yeah, it looks like an eyrie, might be a better word, but you get the idea. Nice visual indicator of what kind of place this is. Even the lines have kind of a scale bent to them. Do you see that? On the columns? They're not linear columns. They don't look like bones. They look like scales or chunks of wing as they're going up alongside the edges there. And of course, nice big clawed, hooked claws or hooked talons at the top there. And that style is everywhere. Once you start noticing it, you start to see it. Even like the windows are still in that overall design. And of course, a lot of these towers are very, very large, comparatively speaking. Like, this is huge, which is important when you consider that that right there is a fairly tall tower with an entire, like, relatively decently sized inn inside. It would fit inside just the entrance of the central tower. So, yeah. No, Wormrest is much more Titan-coded. Greek Titan-coded, specifically. So we've got the towers, we've got the brickwork itself, we've got the connection to Titans. 2, 3. Hang on, let me be jotting this down here. True, Huthor. But that's why I actually clarified, because I was just thinking Titan. I was like, well, hang on. Nowadays, the Titans have a few visual styles to them. Then we've got the tiering of the place. You've got that... I kind of showed this off when I was showing off the gameplay, but like we've got that first layer. Whoops, not that guy. The first layer, and then the second layer, and then the third layer. And then it also loops over into the fourth layer over in that direction. There's this nice staircase design to the place, which has a weirdly well-designed flow going for it. Then we've got the fact that some of it is literally hovering in the air. Do you see that over there? There's no support under that. That's just a floating island. Spoilers, there's a few of those. I haven't really showed those off yet. But if I scooch a little bit this way, you'll see that there's actually several just kind of floating things over here. And notice all this is still very much draconic architecture as opposed to the far more Titan architecture. By the way, immediate distinction. This is Titan architecture. Do you see this? Look at that. Look at the difference between that. The harsh, cold lines, the gold outlines, the marble pillars. This is Titan. This is draconic. Like here, I'll even pull up a bridge so you see it in immediate comparison to the same type of thing. Side by side. Look at that. Completely different. Love it. Anyways. Then there's the skybox. As I've pointed out several times, those dragons are actually there. Those are 3D models that are actually out there flying. And they are freaking everywhere. Now, there's actually 3 layers of these. Even in the clouds, if you look at them. So, we've got... let me just show all 3 of these off. We'll start at the top. So there's these nameless dragons. You're not really supposed to do anything. They're just supposed to be part of the distance. But, if you bother to... I'm not joking when I say they actually are up here. They actually are modeled. Whoop, we went just a little bit too far away there. Because they only render when you're close to Valdrakken itself. You see how far up we are, by the way. Come on. Come on, wake up, wake up. There we go, there we go. So, like I said, these dragons really are up here and are actually rendered. Can't really do much with them. But then you have the second layer. Several of them do things like that. Do you see that one down there? There's, oh, actually, I've already seen a few of them. They kind of dive down and then back up, and occasionally you'll see them much, much closer to the ground, where they'll be flying around in this kind of an area. Like that one right there, who was just flying by me. There you go, boom. And yeah, occasionally they land on the spires. You actually saw one like that. Who was here right here. You notice he's not there anymore, because they land and then they take off. Yeah, like that, actually. Pretty much exactly like that. Thank you for the demonstration. Third and final, most obvious layer of the dragons is the one at the ground level. And now we're going to go ahead and start getting into some nitty-gritty, so hang on a second. We have just gotten started. All right. This is the boring one, everyone. Buckle up. I put real thought into doing this off camera just to try and not bore you. So, yeah. Here's our auctioneers.
Do you seek knowledge? Go in wisdom.
So, that's Expordia, excuse me. Anticdormi, and Imporigo. Imports, antiques, exports, antiques, imports. And yeah, this bronze dragon in the middle, periodically they change which time they're at from their perspective. As usual, absolutely phenomenal design here. Lots of curios and curiosities. Little details, flags, torches. I love how the torches themselves have draconic ruins on them. There's a little bronze dagger. There's a little bronze spear. There's just tons and tons and tons of stuff, including the most valuable thing of all. Speaking of which, there we go. No, these are their names, trust me. It's for the ping. Yeah, Khadgar's servant periodically is giving tours of the place. That's been true since... I think Warlords was the first time to do that. I'm not even sure about that. There we go. He's done it a few times since. Yeah, this guy is really tough. You can tell because he's just benching so much. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. And there's his first, second, and third biggest fans. Mayla's here. We'll talk to her later. There's our Dragon Isle's emissary. That's the weekly quest I mentioned. Caligos is just hanging out. We've got roamers. We've got citizens. We've got people chatting. We've got guards. Interesting.
Okay, bye.
We're not going to do quests just yet. We'll come back to that. Correct, Morgaine. That's the reference. Everybody hated that quest, so they like to reference it periodically. So a nice, big, lush, open area for the center courtyard here. It was already mentioned, but here's the vault. I love how there's just piles. There's just piles of treasure periodically. Here and there. You can also get in the treasure and throw it.
Only the finest goods. A pleasure doing business.
Standard bankers. Big banker.
It is good to see you here.
And of course, Humduck Livingsworth III.
You have arrived.
Who has a top hat. And as already mentioned, there's just this never-ending pile of treasure in the background there. So I know I'm getting a bit of whirlwind tour, but if I really gave this place the time and attention it deserved, we'd be here all day. More or less, literally. I don't know why I did that. I need to go in here. So, allow me to go ahead and say that this is probably the best doodadded room in the expansion and every expansion before it. This one room is sort of crazy. Which makes sense. It's the inn. It's the inn, right? So, just in brief, right? Okay, so we've got... How many of you even knew there was an upstairs, by the way? I actually know a few people who never realized there was an upstairs to this place. We've got someone playing Rumble. I spit on it. One of those giant beds. There's actually a chest in the corner, which is part of a quest, believe it or not. Books. Lots of books all over the place. Magic books. A brazier of cinders. Some wild-looking flowers and foliage. More beds. Nice little draconic statue over here in the corner. I love these giant, like, tusk mugs. You grab the tusk and go... what else we got here? We've got a hookah. Gotta have a hookah. Very important. Drugs. Drugs! Everyone will be drugs. 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 Alright, nice tray of various types of fruit. Of course, we have several people both attending, leaning, big old thing of meat, dude actually serving drinks. I love we've got kegs and chalices and vials and beakers and cups and stoppers and pretty much every alchemical thing they can think of they put in here to show off all the drinks. Polly Roger, gotta have that. I actually do still have several of those on several characters, but let's ignore that for the moment. Get rid of some of this crap over here. How many of you noticed that meat that's being cooked is actually hovering there? It's being retained in the air by magical fire, by Aragosa, who, based on her name, is probably a blue dragon. So there's our Pandaran visage. Nice, big, warm-looking hearth. Look at that oven. Look at that sucker. Raw ingredients, corn. Actually, I don't know what that is. Several vegetables and things. I don't know what they are. There's some meat. There's some eggs. Over here, I love the plates. I love the plates. They look like a giant embossed scale. Ugh. People just eating, hanging out, lots of different banners on the wall. The usage of the 5 colors is everywhere, of course, since the unity of the flights was a big deal for the Dragon Isles. Nice area here, nice little warm oven just to keep everyone. Remember, the Dragon Isles in lore is actually a very cold place, so of course we got lots and lots of warm things in here. This room is probably nice and comfy to be in. I've always pictured there's just kind of this warm, almost glow just for being in here, you know? And yeah, I was going to say, Liara Estraza does sound familiar. Eterno sounds familiar too, but that's really unrelated. So is it Neil? Nope. How about Salute? Oh, I have to... Hang on. There we go. So then we got the back room. The back room is also very well done. Of course it is. A little bit more open. More patrons. Just a chest and a pile of gold. I like the idea of piles of gold being an aesthetic by itself. So they just want there to be piles of gold. Even more different bottles. This is where you get the good stuff. Look at all this crap. All this crap. They have Emerald Dreamtime. Oh, yeah. As your lay wine. Not strong enough to get anyone drunk, but it's delicious all the same. No one's going to steal a pile of gold. It's ridiculous. Some board... And that's actually some dice game right there that someone's been playing. Gotta have a weapon rack. Speaking of dice games, there's the game that Anduin and Rathian were playing back in Pandaria. And for some reason, we cut out of the oven. Don't think about that too much. So, yeah. Of course, there's board games all over the place. People are chilling. They don't have video games yet. So then we got the engineering area. I love how like the array we've got here. We've got like a mechanized lightning grabber. We've got giant chunks of metal, tons of books, bolts, plates, explosives. Oh, that's my duckling's face. This is a keg of gunpowder with guns strapped to it and rockets. Not sure what to think of that. Big ol' Ratchet and Clank kind of thing. Huge calipers, screws, bolts, gears. All kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. I like the automated anvil thing, too. Random black dragon just taking off. Like you do. There's actually a training stone you can just practice mining on. I don't remember what the benefit of that is. I feel like there is a benefit. I just don't remember it. Automated grindstone. Blueprints. I love the big ol' forge, kiln, whatever that is. Big ol' like swooping runes on it. And it looks like it's made of scales. It's been hammered to look like it's made of scales. What is this quest? Oh. Sure, I'll take one of these. Do I not have any of these? I think I have all of these. I'll take the claw, thanks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have all these too. Let's see. Yeah, just in case. Yeah, I don't mind all this stuff I'm getting just for being renowned-y. Apparently didn't have either of those. Okay, whatever. Whatever works, whatever works. Black Dragonflight banners. the obsidian, excuse me. I love their anvils. Look at those things. Style and function. It's very dwarven, actually, is how I would call that.
Hey, how you doing? Be careful out there.
Oh yeah, this is the crafting orders area.
Right, straight to business.
Apparently this still exists. That's good to know.
A satisfactory arrangement.
We'll come back to that. Well, the whole crafting area is actually very, very legit, interesting, and awesome looking. One of my favorite parts of it is actually up from here. Give me a second.
Well met.
No, I'm good.
Light bless you.
You can get some free profession equipment from that guy, though. It's not good profession equipment, but it is free profession equipment. Is it further down? Am I turned around? I'm turned around. Here we go. This is where I want to be. This is the really good crafting area. This is the area so good I had to put it into the opening reel, the pre-roll, if you remember. Like, look at the enchanting area. Scrolls, books, gems, dust, some kind of globs of something. I don't even know what. It's like a ruby goblet in there. I don't know what any of this. Yeah, it feels like a market, exactly. Whoop, 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 whoop. Holiday enthusiasts.
How fare you?
Yeah, I'm going to take that quest away.
And strong winds.
Tailoring area. Got a nice weave and loom thing going on there. Whole swaths of, what are those called? Swatches, I think? Cloth. Of course, we've got the just general good stuff, of which they have just a random selection of everything. And that shows based on their things. God, I'm thinking so fast that I'm having trouble keeping up with myself. Shelves. I'm trying to be too boring, so I'm trying to hurry myself here a little bit. Fishmonger! So we've got fruits, we've got big old slabs of meat, and of course, little bits of snow with fish on them. Various types of fish just sitting on the ice. And of course, we got some more stuff here, including a living crab. That's a little concerning, but that's okay. Immediately next to that, we have a big old stove and giant swaths of meat that is either in mid-cut or being prepped for cutting. I have to point out the cheesemonger. Like, I have to. I kind of already went by this. We've got Ice Crown Blue. We've got Silithus Swiss. There's just one big hole in the middle with a comically large toothpick sticking out of the side. What, were you expecting a sword or something? Black Empire Brunost. If you hold this foul-smelling cheese up to your ear, you can hear a strange whispering. And it's high in fat. The Curdling of Stratholm. This entire dairy must be purged. It's the only way. Apexis Asiago. Perfected by the Anharian Scalaxy scholars, the Apexis crystal contains this cheese's recipe, which has long been lost. Eternity-infused burrata. Infused with water from the Well of Eternity itself, this treat was once highly prized amongst the Kaldori. Prior to the Sundering, of course. Mogu mozzarella. Hailing from before the Pandaren Revolution, this cheese was a key component of an ancient Mogu favorite, stuffed mushrooms. Ice Crown Blue. Ripened in the frozen wastes of Northrend, this wrathful cheese emanates an otherworldly chill. And temporal Parmesan. Untethered from time, this Parmesan has a nifty habit of materializing on your pasta ahead of schedule. Glad you could bake it, Uther. I notice they've even got like little crackers on the cheese plates. Look at it. Just look at it. I love it. I love it. And yeah, temporarily aging some of the cheese here, of course. This, by the way, is Gorgonzormu. Do you get it? Yeah, by the way, you probably missed that. But the devil himself is here.
Greetings, my friend.
Hello, friend. I have come to the Dragon Isles with a hope in my heart to further hone my craft. From what I understand, many dragons tend to favor a style of cooking for which I share a certain affinity. Ha, ha, ha. And then we've got the actual eating area. Oh my god, we've got the eating area. Where NPCs are just hanging out.
Be quick.
Eating.
Be clever.
Hanging out. Chatting with each other. There's just spiced tail and just... Oh my god, there's so many good things.
What brings you here?
Had the Caldori never ventured beyond our bows and sacred forest, we would never set foot in this wondrous
May the
place.
stars guide you.
From what I understand, we are not the first people to emerge from our solitude into an unfamiliar world.
Serve well.
Generations spent hidden from the rest of Azeroth, only to discover a world of splendor in the lands beyond. To think we three have so much in common. Yeah, did you catch that, by the way?
Bring you joy.
It's a Night Elf, a Pandaren, and a Draconid. All of whom are individuals who have experienced leaving an isolationist culture and joining the greater world. And they're all just hanging out over here, chatting.
You wish to speak?
I admit I did not expect much in the terms of pleasant conversation from Mr. Travail, but I can't help find his enthusiasm endearing. To think some months ago we would have likely met on the battlefield. Months?
Night,
lady. Never thought I'd be sharing tea with a Nightborn. Guess it's easier to think of it as sharing tea with a friend.
Remember that the beast in the shadows might be your salvation.
This is when you leave.
Sorry. Oh, I've tasted fresher hops in an active volcano.
The Naru have not forgotten.
Dame Gleamsprocket insisted we set sail for the Dragon Isles the moment she heard there was adventure afoot. Naturally, we almost immediately found more danger than we bargained for. We found ourselves caught in some manner of hunting experiment for proto-drakes. Luckily, Zorza cut our binds and showed us the way to Valdrakken. We owe him much. I do, however, wish he was a little less talkative. I'm trying to read. He looks at you pointedly.
May your days be long.
Sorry,
May your
jeez.
hardships few.
Did you notice a Tuskar and Centaur trader just perusing the marketplace? Did you catch the kid on the Centaur's head? The air feels fresher here somehow. I could taste the thrill of adventure fluttering in my chest. Dragon Isles, can you believe it? Over here is Zorza. Now this table, just staring at this table is making me hungry. Just look at it. God, it's still fresh!
Hello, man.
This far from the mainland, the war feels like a distant memory. Since the entire of us be good people. In the end, that be all that matters.
Stay away from the food.
What war? What are you talking about? The war's been over for more than 5 years now. Also, I love that comment so far from the mainland. There's the Eastern Kingdoms right there. I know this isn't like perfectly to scale, but we've been further away before. I'm just saying. 1,000,000 years, Stan Latico. We're approximately 1 billion years through it right now.
What did you bring me?
The denizens of the Honoran Plain have honed their nomadic lifestyle for countless generations. Think what the Volpera could learn from them.
One day at a time, friend.
You'll notice most of the random people to chat with here. Oh, I've been looking for this guy. This is Ryan Levinson. He sells mana food. I would stop that guy every time I went through here and be like, hey,
I'm listening.
Yep, Mage Chef. As far back as Wrath, they mentioned the idea that different mages come up with different mage food. So having a Mage Chef just kind of tracks for me. Frankly. He's also got some mage drinks. Did you catch that? I'm getting hungry. Especially the cheese. Yes, the cheese. And the meat. It's sure, Lord Harrowmont, sure. Guys, we need to kill Lord Harrowmont. He thinks he's been to space and seen the other side of the planet. And there's definitely been nothing visible on the other side. Anyways, anyways, amazing stuff here. I would still go with the Jack there, Zach Taft. At least in lore. Obviously in gameplay, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Captain Night Squall, who's... Oh, let's see. Okay, so what do we got here?
There you are. Stay sharp out there.
Yep. I just get extremely stuck here. Nice place. Little unguarded for my tastes. You know, I wouldn't sleep in a bed facing a giant open door. But, you know. Oh, yeah, I actually forgot to show this off. This is where the rostrum is. Here. And consequently, all the race stuff is up here, too.
Ah, caught a good wind stream lately.
Speaking of which...
Keep your feet off the ground.
I want the wheel to
Fair
break, please.
skies and strong winds.
I just want to make sure we're set up. Let's change the color. Oh, I don't have it yet. No. That'll do. Let me do a couple very quick changes here. Just really quick. Let's get rid of that. And... Yeah, New WoW has quality. That's what I would call that. You know, everyone in chat. No, classic is better. Okay. Let's go with that. Nice autumn colors. There we go. Okay. I mean, that sounds pretty strong to me, Zactap. I don't know. Especially by Mass Effect standards. Okay, so that's an ignore. That's an ignore. So up here is one of those weekly quests. I think I still haven't actually done all these. This is Rumia Straza. And this is Rumia Straza's party. This party is exactly what it sounds like. It's got food, it's got wine. But what I love most about this place is it has a series of quests where you go get weirder and weirder esoteric foods. Welcome, good patron. I am today's chef of honor, Flemthroat. Alchemist Flemthroat to my fans and admirers. My teas and tinctures are known far and wide. So famous am I that this kindly culinary duo of duck and dragon requested my presence to celebrate the art of uplifting brews. Please feel free to try my concoctions. They've been placed on the table just to the other side of our good hosts. And feel free to get in line for a signature from this humble, yet oh so famous alchemist. I'm sure the wait time is only but a few short hours.
Embrace the shadow.
And yeah, here we have... Ooh, berry tarts. Can I try one, please? By the way, all these unique foods also have unique buffs. Also, Rumia Straza has a duck on her head, which has a little chef hat. Yeah, so... This is... There's a lot of quests here. And I more or less can't show these off on camera. So just trust me when I say there's some interesting world building here. So she held back a lightning bolt. Okay. Contributed to a barrier that was able to direct missiles back at a warship. I mean, that's impressive. Yeah, Zactaf. I never said it wasn't. But I raised my eyebrow. We'll go with this. But if it makes you feel any better, Korra is the greatest biotic ever made. Wait. So we're not actually doing those.
We have slept long enough. Fair skies and strong winds.
Yeah, they change the music, the theme, the tone every time you come through. And by every time I come through, I mean, I think it's weekly? Do not quote me on that, because I do not remember specifically, but I wanted to at least show it off briefly. It's a nice little flavor lore area, which I highly recommend you go through if you have any interest in it. Okay. Did that. Let's do a little bit of a sweep, shall we? Let's pick up a few things.
Mama says my tusks will be bigger than a mammoth's.
Okay, so that's just a profession
Bring
thing.
fist, please.
That's the whelp daycare. Okay. I haven't done the whelp daycare yet. I deliberately saved it for the stream.
Hello.
There's the spa promoter.
Farewell.
It is time gated.
The Isles have awakened.
There's another go-to.
Go in service.
These are mostly just vector quests. That's up. I'm not doing that. I think that's it. Nope. So there's one more thing. I like to think that orcs like salty sweets. Or savory sweets, like strawberry burgers. The Isles have awakened.
What's the problem?
Yeah, that's a modern voice.
We do things different.
Like a unique voice. I need a favor. You look like the favor doing type. An old pal of mine, Harleen Chirpsnide, was supposed to meet me in the city a few days ago. We was planning to eat our way through Ruby Feast, get a trim at the barbershop, visit that swanky auction house. Machine showed up. She gets lost in the work plenty, but I'd feel more comfortable knowing where she was. Try the mountains south of here. She mentioned she'd be swinging on her way by.
That's what it is.
You can always tell when someone has had a dialogue patched back in. Oh, dragons would totally be into spicy food, 100%. I actually didn't notice which cartel she was in. Hang on. Venture Company. Interesting. Yeah, exactly, Blightable. Harpies aren't birds, Segalia. They're bird people. I don't like to deal with people, but I guess this is a unique situation. I mean, it's the Star Trek thing, right? Every time a race gets a substantial amount of screen time, all of a sudden they get a lot of development and advancement as a species. There's a reason why, to this day, two of the most developed species we've ever had in Star Trek are Cardassians and Bajorans. Relatively small-scale players on the board, but they got a lot of screen time. 1 second. I have a very strange splinter in my finger. That's unpleasant. Where did I get that from? Yeah, Ferengi is another good example. Ferengi, Bajorans, Cardassians, Klingons. Careful, these are full-winged pechinators. I've got tweezers right here. I always keep tweezers right here. Tweezers are entirely too useful for computer stuff, so I always keep some right here. That is a small splinter, too. That's even more frustrating. Might have to use a knife. really hurts for something so small. I'll be right back. Got it. Okay. Don't know where the hell that came from. Moving on.
What's up?
Old Fizz crank his weight, huh? Guess the drinks are on me when I finish up, yeah?
If you ever need anything.
Yep, Elon Musk is gone.
Interesting.
The name is Professor Harleen Chirpsnide, infamous orthodontist extraordinaire. I came here to study the mythical blue feather rocks of the Dragon Isles, but I suppose we got bigger fowl to fry. I bet these hobbies flew up from Kalimdor when the Isles opened up. They're highly invasive when feasting, like a pack of ogres at a Bilgewater casino buffet. Let's give them a native rocks here a fighting chance. Take this medical kit. Use it on the injured ones.
Be good.
What brings you here?
Galia, don't you dare break into my feather pluck at 3300 when you go into that cave. I'll guard it with my lice, Miss Professor Chirpsnide, ma'am. No, ma'am. Just call me the Professor. I'm a man for crunch time. Sorry, Lineruth, sorry. I have removed a literal prick from my finger. I was curious about these strange winged creatures and attempted to introduce myself. I would have been eaten if not for Professor Chirpsnide and her large mechanical fowl. Could you help us deal with these, screech flight? The native blue feather rocks are having a difficult time defending their nests from them. Also, I'd hate for any more introductions to go the way mine did with them.
Farewell.
Is this how all harpies are? They're so surprisingly bloodthirsty for being so sentient. Yeah. As we've said before, harpies are one of the few remaining, not really developed races. Maybe someday. Harpies and Quillbore. And maybe a little bit more Murloc stuff. But those are the two big ones, Harpies and Quillbore. Well, yeah, obviously Zach Taft. But, I mean... Okay, so I don't like Korra that much as a character. Can you guess why before I tell you, Zach Taft? Which one, Dominique? One in the MSQ. Well, we haven't done anything with Murlocs yet, so I'm gonna go with no. My eyeballs smell tasty. Gross? Okay, I can roll with that. Considering I haven't even seen Korra, The Legend of the Avatar Death 2 Part 2, probably not that. Korra is one of the characters in Mass Effect Andromeda, one of the party members, who I only know the name of because Zactaf has asked about her several times. As I myself have pointed out also several times. There's quite a few characters in Andromeda who are so unmemorable that me and other people who have even played the game have trouble remembering them. But here's what I dislike about Korra. It's actually very, very simple. She's someone's overpowered OC. No, really, think about this for a second. So there's this woman who, out of nowhere, is like the best biotic ever, who is on the level of Asari Commandos, who is also the daughter of freaking the Elusive Man, who is this supremely powerful military strategic leader. She also bows to your whim constantly, by the way. Yeah, exactly. Kira knows that she's someone's OC. And that kind of character tends to rub me wrong in general. Now, sometimes those kind of characters can still be good in spite of that. But, you know what that reminds me of in a more modern parlance? Gale, over in Baldur's Gate 3. I won't spoil, because it is very technically a spoiler, but his backstory is ridiculous. Of course it's never been confirmed. They abandoned Mass Effect after Andromeda. It's hard to confirm something when there's no one there to confirm it. Yeah, no, if you, speaking as someone who has been a GM for many, many years, if you came to me and said, hey, here's my character's backstory, and you presented Gale to me, I would just say, no. Just straight up, no. Like, no, go try again. That is the hope, Zaktaft. That is the hope. But yes, Cora's just a little bit better than everyone else. Whether she's a good character or not, eh. So for those of you who are familiar with Vampire the Masquerade, or more specifically Mage, I think I've mentioned this before. I once had a player who wanted to come to me with multiple paradoxes. Like, that was part of their character backstories. They had figured out how to do multiple paradoxes. And it's like, dude, no. Just, no. You're probably right, Lord Harriman. You notice there's a little bit of that in most of the characters. Gale was just a little bit too much. I'm actually the lover of a deity is a little bit eyebrow-raising, you know what I mean? Like, at least Lae'zel is, you know, a youngin', even within her crash. Kinda, yeah, Xavion. It's just... I mean, yes, Pillars of Snow, but, like, the thing is, even if he actually was, that just makes it work worse, doesn't it? That's like bragging about the fact that you were a particular McDonald's burger one day. Of someone who's famous, who likes McDonald's. It's like, yeah? Like, first of all, no. But second of all, even if it's true, it's not much of a brag. Yeah, Shadowheart worked quite well, too. Will was just an idiot. He always rubbed me the wrong way. Oh, for Christ's sakes. Whatever.
So many possibilities.
Thank you, Zerviles. I've been assisting the good professor while you've been gone. I'm afraid to say, I've made things worse for her.
Until next time.
Full-feathered job. I would have helped you with the healing or the slaying, but I'm more of an ideas goblin these days.
Pleasure doing business with ya.
With as many adventurers protecting Azeroth as there are these days, I'm not surprised at all that the Screechflight decided to migrate to a new land. Just wish they'd let me do my research without their shred everything to pieces and eat it attitude.
Hurry back.
Segalia seems like a good egg. Good with gadgets, panics easily. For example, when I sent her into the cave south of here, she was promptly run out by an unusually large harpy. Seems I was giving orders to the others. Could be the matriarch? Maybe commander? Get in there and find out. And don't be afraid to ruffle a few feathers, if you know what I mean.
Glad I could help. Keep it real.
Harpies have a nice surprise. Harpies are a nice surprise and all, but I came to these mountains for only one reason. Excrement! Specifically the excrement of blue feather rocks that are then eaten and digested by bugs. Scarab stomach tumors enhance the explosive nitrogen content by 10-fold, at least! Here, take this Chirpside auto excrement collector. Stomp on the scarabs and collect it to reap the... We gotta have a poop quest. Every expansion has to have a poop quest.
Have a good one.
What's that look for? It's not gross. It's science. And it's fun.
We have slept long enough.
I made a huge mistake. Harleen entrusted me with the famed Feather Plucker 3300, a phenomenal invention of her own. I was planning to pluck rock feathers in the cave south of here, but the harpies ambushed me and it broke into pieces as I was running up. Please retrieve the parts. They're probably strewn about like shed scales on the floor. I could put it together. Definitely. Probably.
It is a world of wonders.
I was so very lost. The parts are probably far away from each other. Sorry. Weirdest D&D character a friend or I have ever made. Well, I don't make weird characters. I'm boring. I also don't play very often. Sorry, I just remembered a particularly bad playing experience. Ahem. Let's see. Gross. Where did you start out is dying? Which expansion? Let's see. Weirdest character I've ever had one of my friends play. I'm not sure I have anything that really qualifies. At least not in a negative sense. Yeah, when you say weirdest, I hear worst, so I'm trying to think of, like, the worst character. Not player, that's easy, but, like, the worst character I've ever played GM for. It sounds like whoever's in charge needs to acquiesce to the demands so they can get back to work, Relictum. So you can get back to work. No, I know, Papanix, but I stand by what I said. What is the worst character I've ever had? Something alien? I'm not sure I've ever had anyone play anything alien. Most players I know play humans. Like, just normally. Because, you know, humans. Okay, so you mean odd or strange? I'm going to default to saying no. I don't think I can't think of any characters I've ever played for who are odd or strange. Or excuse me, run for odd or strange. Like, I'm coming up completely dry. Well, there's no cat people in most of D&D, so that might be the problem there. We need to add cat people, then people... Okay, I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you. Then people will play cat people. I guess I should qualify. Like, I've played someone who was the last dragon of their kind. I've played someone who was actually a construct, which is Blade Taval's favorite type of creature, who was built from different types of elementals, kind of abominationed together. I've played someone who was actually a member of an ancient race who was left in stasis for a long period of time. And was trying to reconnect with said race. Am I stupid? I might be stupid. So all this sounds normal to me. That's why I was just kind of glossing over all this. I have a long-standing habit as a GM of tailoring adventures to my players. Yeah, I'm currently playing a Drakthir. Yeah, it's whatever. For example, in one particular campaign, there was a tidbit where I sat down with all the players who were planning to play in the campaign and said, what do you want to play? And they're like, well, I don't know the setting. I was like, no. What tickles your interest? What do you want to play? And once they all gave me their ideas, I built the setting around that to allow for whatever their character concepts were. pull a scrap of parchment from the gooey-soaked satchel of the rock muncher. All you can make out is imagery of harpies devouring large eggs. You're positive the thick, unintelligible scratch marks will make plenty of sense to your favorite senior ornithologist, Harleen Chirpsnide. I mean, I've played a monk who was partially fused with the demon lord of slimes, who could then use that power to, like, squeeze through cracks, for example. And I bled acid when I was crit. Did I say hi to Evo? Hi, Evo. So, the campaign I just mentioned. So, I already mentioned two of them. One of them was the Elemental Abomination. The other one is the Ancient Survivor. The third one was a... they wanted to play a werewolf, and I'm like, okay. And that was actually pretty tough, figuring out how to make a werewolf fit. So I decided to make werewolves constructs. And essentially kind of droids who have no real will of their own and have to follow the rules and whims of whoever owns them. It was intended to be kind of horrific, and the idea, story-wise, was that at some point in time, there was a reasonably good chance. Okay, guys, you need to stop. There's a reasonably good chance that they would encounter that player's owner, who would then, you know, push him against the party or something. Where's... There they are. Congrats, Evo. That was really quick, actually. Let's see. Who else is in that party? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's actually it. Yeah, I think that's it. Immediately after that, same campaign, actually. Several people signed up to join the online version of that campaign. And they were like, hey! And I'm like, alright, here's the existing races. What do you want to play? And several people were like, humans! And I'm like, okay. That turned into a whole thing. Because humans in that campaign were very, very, very new to the scene. To being part of the greater world. Similar to the Drakthir, actually. So I'm like, okay, you can play a human, but you have to play as someone who's basically a yokel who has no idea about anything. And they were like, okay. Fast forward a few sessions. I don't like playing someone who doesn't know any of these concepts. Okay.
How fare you? In unity, find strength.
If you ever need anything.
Fine-tuned bird senses are telling me these screech fly aren't just here for snacks, but you did well. Let me decipher this scroll. We'll figure out what these harpies are after.
Hurry back. Keep it real. Glad I could help.
According to the scroll you found, the screech flight matriarch only comes out when a meal's properly prepared and ready to eat. You need to collect all the necessary materials I've listed so I can build you a few incredible disguises and a very special egg. Special as an explosive. I'll fill you in on the rest of the plan after you finish these tasks.
Pleasure doing business with ya. Be careful out there.
I've deciphered the scroll and, surprise, it's bad news. The Screechfly aren't just eating the blue feathers for sustenance. Turns out they found a spell or two that transfers the rock's innate strength to themselves upon consumption. Especially the eggs. Save as many of those eggs as you can down the cliffs from here. It'll stall the harpies long enough to put my plan into motion. And watch out for the elementals. The Curse Wives spell has stirred them up.
Have a good one. Pleasure.
The scroll you found there has a command to all the blue feather eggs that are supposed to be brought to the harpy chef, Fry Airy. Apparently the Screech Flight's matriarch won't eat anything that hasn't been properly prepared and seasoned. So we'll bring her a special egg of our own. One that'll be, explosively delicious. And will explode when she eats it. Of course. How you'll deliver it? In disguise. Slay the creatures on the lower cliffs. Bring it to these parts.
Have a good one.
The skies call to me.
Harleen told me she's making a disguise for you. How exciting. But she'll need some feathers in the rock hatchlings. Luckily, I finished fixing up the Feather Plucker 3300. The Screech Flight are capturing rock hatchlings in the lower cliff to raise them and breed them for themselves. Use the plucker to yank the hatchlings out of danger. It'll automatically pluck their feathers, too. 2 birds for 1 plucker.
Be bold. Be true.
Okay. It's going to be a really good last meal. So here's your robo chicken. In case you thought I was joking about there being a robo chicken. Free little guy. Thanks for the feathers. Take all this. And all these. I'm gonna take these too. Some weird lag here. Chat that just completely dies. We go off camera. Whoops. Oh, shoot. My last meal? Well, I'm going to be eating a really wonderful meal, but unfortunately, it'll be laced with licorice, coffee, ranch, and mayonnaise. So I'll be like, yeah, just instantly. It'll be pretty painless. I will feel nothing ever again. By the way, you can tell this is going to be an easy quest. Why? Because we have to get like 20 of several things. It sounds like a joke, but it really isn't. Remember, if you get a quest to get one thing, you're screwed. If you get a quest to get 30 things, that's going to be easy. Plus, we're almost done already. I suppose at some point I'll have to start giving visual positives for Valdrakken, because we're actually in Valdrakken now. I don't know if you caught that. Most of the Valdrakken quests actually come from Valdrakken. That was probably not the best idea. But it does work from a pure flower design. If you've been paying attention, most of the zones have been doing the flower approach to quest design. There's a vector quest, it leads to an area. That area has a whole quest chain. Boom. Most of these vector quests kind of... It's like boom, boom, and then boom, boom, and then boom, boom. And so forth and so on. It's just Valdrakken is where most of those vectors come from. Oh yeah, Valdrakken is very much... You've figured out dragon riding by now, right? Like, really, you could get around several of the previous zones without dragon riding. You cannot really feasibly get around Valdrakken without dragon riding. Perhaps reasonably might put a better word, but you get the idea. No, wait. Oh, no! And done. Down here. I'm just cannibalizing a mechanical chicken corpse. What? By the way, as you can see, the Titan architecture is actually serving purpose in terms of maintaining water and terrain as well, not just, you know, being pretty. Which makes sense. Most Titan architecture serves a purpose.
We are united.
A directive, one might say. Professor Chirpsnides tells me I've got quite a knack for gadgets. Wasn't part of the Drakthir military. Do you think I would have worked in a goblin city?
May we all find what we seek.
It has more than enough feathers, and all collected without the feather plucker exploding. Right?
In unity, find strength.
Be careful out there.
Saving these eggs from the harpies is key for protecting these blue feathers from any further endangerment, as well as future prey they plan on consuming next.
Glad I could help.
Oh, that's more than I imagined to be able to recover. Maybe you're not so bad sort after all. Not that I was thinking that or anything.
If you ever need anything, keep it real. Be good.
Perfect. And a little gross, just like I planned. Time to craft a disguise.
Hurry back. If you ever need
You ready to put those acting chops of yours to good use? Well, you don't have any chops? That's a good thing I made you an impeccable... Do you get it? Screech flight disguise out all the materials I just gathered. Sigali and I still need time to finish the final egg that'll take out the matriarch, but I made a smaller prototype version. You try it on the chef. Don't worry, you'll be 12% safe from explosions under all those feathers.
Keep it real.
Woohoo, 12%. I wouldn't drop that if I were you. Then why did you toss it at me? Once you get your disguise on, get in the cave, convince Fry Airy to move the egg for herself, and we'll move on to the next part of our foul-proof plan. God, really? Good luck. Please don't eat whatever the chef is making in there. Don't worry. Oh, we did it, everyone. We finally have playable harpies. God, they're so skinny. I can see her ribs. Oh, that's terrifying. Finally, what took you so long with those eggs? Here you go. I said no seconds. New egg, about time. Matriarch can only get stronger if you coffle, curse-wise, push around every ounce of magic into those blue feather nests. Toss it in, we'll have a taste. Move those feathers, it's almost the matriarch's feeding time. Wow, what an aroma. Let's have a little sippy sip, shall we? It's a little hard to chew. Wonder if I want to visit a harpy-owned restaurant. Oh, we should use the feathers. And the hat! You okay? We heard a big thud. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks.
Well, spit it out. Be careful out there.
You did pretty good in there. And you look good in that outfit, to boot. Find a way to cut this terrifying thread off at its beak.
Have a good one. Be good.
The awaited explosion. Egg explosion. Our prototype worked. Now it's time for the main course. This time you're the chef. With some necessary adjustments, you'll suit up in your disguise, and you'll take out our masterpiece eggs. God damn it. Then you'll suit up... Then you'll take our masterpiece egg-splosive, dunk it in this rancid stew here, head up to the matriarch's cave, plate it for her, glide back down, and the blast will detonate behind you. All things go as planned, she'll be toast. Because of the explosion. Which will burn her to toasty bits.
Hurry back.
The professor's magnificent egg explosion is finally ready. Dunk it in the gross stew. Also, you like my hat? Sigelia, is the Chirp Snide one-way taxi prep for use? Ready and waiting just outside. Then let's do it. I've also packed an extra Chirp Snide auto glider in case you need it for the ride down. Nah, I'm good. I accept this outcome. I smell my chef's signature concoction. Excellent, I'm famished. These rocks have made me stronger with every meal. Soon I'll be ready for our next prey. Dragons! We shall ascend, become greater than any dragon flight, for we are the Screech Flight! Fry Airy, you've helped me become the harpy I've always believed I could be. Mother would be so proud of us. Time to dig in. Wait, what's that ticking sound? Hey, you, inside the egg. Pipe down. Prepare to be eaten. Ah, what is this? You aren't my chef. Sorry, I killed your sister. Just like I killed Colbert. It was the only. We wanted to become one of you. Whee! This is, I can't steer! I can't steer!
Welcome, friend.
That things didn't go according to plan, but no good goblin scheme ever does. Nice work. There'll be Screech Flight here, but they'll be easy to cull without their matriarch organizing their efforts. And the Blue Feathers will actually have a chance to survive. Harpies and dragons ain't that different. Forgetting their attempted mass digestion of the cliffside, they're akin to a peaceful civilization. They're akin to a civilization of their own. Maybe there's a peaceful brood out there. Oh, keep the disguise. Looks good on you.
Glad I could help.
Yep. Yet another exciting adventure for the hero ornithologist, Harleen Chirpsnide. But I must be off now. Wait, Professor, maybe you could use an assistant? Assistant? I'll live more harrowing adventures than this one with my morning kaja coffee. There's no room for the weak-minded in ornithology. The rest of Azeroth awoke while we were asleep thousands of years. If harpies can desire more, then Drakthir can too. That is a great point. I deem you an assistant ornithologist. Now grab my bag. Let's hit the skies. Yay, I'm an ornithologist. Now, give me a moment to figure out how to make the Pekinator a two-seater. Get ready, birds. I'm an ornithologist, a real ornithologist. Okay, now I'm ready. As usual.
There is much to discover.
As usual. Weirdly wholesome. Yep, okay, I'm ready. Kill me. Thank you for the sub, Colbram. Demonicon. No, I have not heard of that. One moment. From 2013, so that's not terrible. Yeah, wow, I've never heard of this. It's a thrilling action RPG set in the extraordinarily popular universe of The Dark Eye. Guys, what's The Dark Eye? I'm not actually kidding. I've never heard of that. That's true. It's probably too popular for someone like me. That's probably why he needed the glove, Magister. Might have some issues anyways, Colgrim, so it might be for the best. It looks like the game has some issues running on modern systems. Oh god, Colgrim. Ugh. What is this, Drakengard? Don't answer that. Oh my god, that key art on the top. Holy crap. Hey, Don. I don't know. You gotta really, really, really work at it to beat Starfield. So far, Only one game has managed that feat. Let's see. Old World Blues. Whoop. World Blues. Universal Sin and Alien Shooter. Honestly, I'm not sure Ride to Hell is going to beat Starfield. Having played both games, on camera no less. No, I've actually never reviewed Ride to Hell, period. Believe it or not. Okay. Have you seen that game? Have you seen the highlight reel of Secret of the Stars? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. It's probably our best overall highlight reel, just pound for pound. Where's the... Hold on, hold on. That's true, Vegeta. Nobody plays WoW retail. It's ridiculous. I do actually have this quest now.
What's the word on the street? Be careful out there.
Nah. Let's go ahead and do this one first. Sorry. You can eat it very, very carefully. It's probably going to hurt going down, though. We don't actually have a highlight reel for Red Hell Retribution, because all we have for that is the lore run.
Oh, I am glad you are here. Be careful out there.
Yeah, but, like, that doesn't make it a better game. I'm sorry, I'm debating something. I keep changing my mind on something. Let me go do this. Let me go do this. Let's do that. There we go. That is a long line for the spa. Look at that. Why are so many people in line for the spa? What is this, My Little Pony? I've actually never been to a spa in real life, no. Ironically, I don't think I could trust anybody sufficient to actually have them massage me. Right here.
Oh, do not mind the little ones.
No, WoW is not worth buying right now. Unless you're playing Classic. In which case, WoW is the greatest thing ever. It should be right here. So I'm trying to figure out something. Please forgive my derailment here. Make sure this is set up correctly, because this has been wrong a few times. I think, nope, that's correct.
Welcome to the City of Dragons. Enjoy Valdrakken.
Okay, this has to be it right here. I've been to a couple of adjusters. Chiropractic is an interesting profession. I would say unless you personally know the chiropractor in question and understand what they're trying to do and what it's attempting to do with you, then I wouldn't trust them. Okay, hang on. Sorry. Yeah, imagine a massage that you pay too much money for, and they tell you will actually heal you.
Oh, hello, adventurer.
Our egg tenders report a new clutch of eggs is soon to hatch. Ordinarily, a whelp tender would take each newly hatched dragon and raise them as their flight. However, not all dragon spawn are called to the life of a whelp tender, and we are short on hands. Gather wisdom from whelp tenders of each flight in the gardens below the life shrine. Agapanthus, an experienced whelp tender of the blue, has offered his services, but he'll need your assistance.
These whelps are our future.
Uncertain, Xavion, but it has the same structure, so it might. Excuse me, can you come help?
The Isles welcome you.
Never underestimate the power of a good snack. Okay. Sweets are enjoyable. You may never know when a dramatic sugar crash is around the corner. Yeah, I've taken care of kids.
We serve once more.
Each whelp is incredibly precious to their flight. We must protect them from all dangers.
I never gave up hope.
Wisdom from a whelp tender. Let me think. Sometimes there's difficult lessons. That doesn't mean all lessons are difficult ones. Have fun.
The waters flow again.
Ron's whelp tenders often find ourselves pulled in many different directions at times. Our greatest tool? Patience. Our journeys are not linear. How can we expect theirs to be? Ugh, non-linear people.
The waters flow again.
Spending time in the dream is important to their growth, but green whelps ought not to stay there too long. Being part of the waking world is sometimes hard for whelps, but we must be their encouraging guides. Are you ready to meet Agapanthus?
Welcome. It has been so long.
Amela has told me about the incoming whelps and the daycare. Did you know Agapanthus is a renowned whelp tender? I heard he fought back demons while rearing whelps. If he's as amazing as they say, I have much to learn from him. I only just received my calling, but I'll help in any way I can. The Little Scales daycare is in Valdrakken. I'll meet you there.
Waters nourish you.
I'll meet you at the Little Scales. See you there. I didn't actually see the black whelp. You're going to have to ask Evo about that. I think she's lying. Black whelps. Don't be ridiculous. Sorry, I didn't see your question either of the two times you mentioned it, Zara.
Safeguard Valdrakken.
So what was Deathwing's aspect? Earth. There's a reason they call him the Earth Warder. So, I spent the last 4 years training under... That's great, Lastic. Here, hold this. Agapanthus hands Lastic a stack of books. Wait, you don't hear my qualifications? You took on the calling of a whelp tender. I trust that you're committed.
Valdrakken welcomes all.
So, this is Sir Pringley.
The city awaits your return.
Which is his pet.
Glory to all.
Lastek has just informed me of his rigorous study as a whelp tender of most of the Red Flight. Most of my experience is hands-on, and you will have to develop a curriculum.
Be safe amongst these towers.
There we go. Now we can do this properly. I like how most of these people are just here in spa clothes, ready to go, and it's like, imagine, I mean, you ever been to a water park, and you're there in your swim trunks, but you're out, and it's hot, and it's wet, and it's humid, and you're uncomfortable, and you're in your swim outfit, and you're just like, ugh. And then you get in, and it's like, but like, the line, you know? The line.
The city stands true.
Young whelps can be careless in how they treat their space. The daycare is effectively under siege, day in, day out. Help clean up the daycare. The new whelps will need a proper place to stay. I will not let one claw sit down on unpolished stone or overgrown grass.
Glory to Valdrakken.
The whelps that visit the daycare eat snacks for their visit. A lot of snacks. If there are going to be any whelps that stay here with regularity, we'll need even more rations to sate their endless hunger. Here's a list of snacks the whelps have taken to lately. I also ordered something for Sir Pringley. Be sure to get that as well.
Aspects guide you.
The daycare is always looking for new activities to enrich the education of the whelps. Lastek has suggested a class pet might help teach the whelps responsibility. Sir Pringley has been my personal companion for some time, and I believe his calm demeanor and sense of fun would serve the position well. Sir Pringley will need his own habitat for the daycare, however. If you would gather materials, we can prepare a space just for him.
Long life to you.
So yes, obviously we're going to check out the doodads. Wait! I've changed my mind. Evo asked me to, and therefore, by law... No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. Although, there's actually my favorite doodad. Oh, where is it? Where is it? I don't see it. What if it rotates? Now, if I see it, I'll say something. Alright, so... Yeah, I kind of want the strawberry burger. I'm going to have to make my own. I'm going to do the French toast one. French toast, whipped cream, strawberry, burger. So yeah, plenty of toys. You got to have toys. I love the little very cool toy boat thing. I don't know what else to call that. And the Murloc plushies. Got to have Murloc plushies. Very important. Bowl of coins, because they're dragons. They like coins. Well, I actually saw several recipes, Mr. Red. The one I'm referencing is essentially a strawberry and whipped cream French toast sandwich with a burger in it. That's the one I want to try out the most. Having said that, there are ones that are more or less literally a burger with strawberries on it. I'm not sure how that would work. That's interesting. There's a... Oh my god, it's Indiana Jones, the whelp. Indiana Whelp? Whelpiana Jones? Ugh, I've actually tried peanut butter burgers. Not a fan. I love how Caluthamos here, this person in, I forget what tier that is, but it's tier armor, tier paladin armor, is just reading to all these whelps. Also, we have another whelp here, which we probably shouldn't, but I'm from the future, so whatever. No, it's a burger with peanut butter, like you just put a glop of peanut butter on it. That's more or less it. Yeah, ignore the nether whelps. We will come back to that much later. Like I said, I'm kind of in the future here. Because I'm here on Zalash. Because I never did this on Zalash. I was saving this for the run. My friends were even making fun of me for it. They're like, nah, you can do it on another character. I'm like, nah, I want to save it. Be gone, foul creatures. Okay, hang on. Is that everything here? Yes. Have you developed a curriculum for whelps before? I have some lesson plans I developed as a student, but not a full course. Plastic, these are stellar. Where did you learn to prepare these? I trained with other dragon spawn in a small cohort until I was ready to receive my calling. But that was a study in a controlled environment. Your experience of facing the Legion is admirable, sir. Don't sell yourself short. We have much we can learn from each other. Here for your regular cheese order. I have it for you here. Don't tell anyone. I need my cheese. I need it. What am I getting here? Whelp Whisper Brie. Oh, there it is. Light, buttery, with a hint of the... You do not smell like a cheese board yet. This must be your first visit. Ugh! Bronze dragons. In case you missed that, as I showed up, he said, "Oh, here for your regular." And then I got it, and he's like, "Wait, you don't smell like cheese yet. This must be your first visit." Yeah, we spent a while giving entirely too many positives to Gorgonzormu. I mean, to Valdrakken. Yes, please. I need... that, I believe. Till Agapanthus, it's my pleasure to craft treats for Sir Pringley's fine palate. You got it. Favorite pasta shape? Noodles. Specifically thin noodles, so angel hair.
You would ask something of me? Now, back to my garden.
Aww. Okay, I need the shrubbery, I need the incense, and some crackers. Energy output is the limit, Triaxia. How big is their power plant? No, we're nowhere near Loam. We're not even done with the 4th zone. We have just started the 4th zone. Valdrassus, excuse me.
My wares are always available.
If you need cheese for those crackers, I recommend Gorgonzormu's stock. Best in Valdrakken. God, are you catching it? Are you catching it? I keep double jumping, and then wondering why my glide isn't triggering. I guess we could do the Cobalt Assembly. Although... No, the problem is I've been playing an Evoker lately, where a double jump is your glide. On a Demon Hunter, it is your triple jump that is a glide. And that's what I keep screwing up. Oh, hang on. Where's the incense? There it is. Yep. Wait, it's in Zaralek? Oh, wow. I didn't know the daycare was actually, what is this, 10.1 now? 10.1.5, excuse me. Well, either way, it's timed, so I want to get it started now. That's why we're doing it first, by the way, if you're wondering. I love the rain effect down here. Yeah, ignore all this. Ignore all this incredible visual storytelling going on here. Ignore it. Ignore this incredible city. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. Damn.
Kiss means tidings bless you, friend.
Thank you. Ignore this incredible town that's going to give so many positives. So many positives. Ignore the incredible characters they added and the fact that they're going to come back in War Within and it's awesome. None of it's there. Let's just go back to Legion, the best expansion. Okay, I accept that. Yeah, honestly, we're... I don't even know how I'm going to handle positives for some of these places. We're going to be challenging positive structure for some of these places. Like, Valdrakken, for those of you who haven't been looking at the document, is almost 20 positives by itself. I think it's actually more than 20, now that I'm looking at it. Excuse me. I think Dragonflight will beat Pandaria. Frankly, I will be shocked if Dragonflight does not beat Pandaria. I am willing to put that stamp out there right now. Let's go and place this. There's the incense. Yeah, exactly what Huthor said. Pandaria was very, very good, but it was dragged down by the abandonment negatives just like everything else was. Like, look at those ratios over here for a second. These are some really good ratios. There's the snacks. Alright, now I need to buy this pallet for Evo someday. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Also true, Blade Fall. That's incredible. Like, I can't draw that well right now. But, like, for a kid, that's pretty good. Start dark, work up to light, sky, basic composition. Yeah, no, Dragonflight and War Within are going to be the best scoring expansions. I'm willing to put my stamp on that right now.
This is the seat of their power.
This should do for your first sweep of the daycare. Good work. I believe our curriculum is off to a good start. Now we must await the whelps.
Valdrakken stands strong.
It was the same as in Ajuna. Cheese and crackers are treasured by all whelps.
Aspects guide you.
It's a remarkable stack run. Hopefully these snacks continue to be their liking.
Valdrakken stands strong.
There's a particular way that Sir Pringley likes his habitat constructed. If you get the materials I listed, he should like it.
The city awaits your return.
An egg from the black dragonflight is ready to hatch. Real quick. When's the first time gate here? Like, will it be obvious? Report to Mother Ilion in the Ruby Life Shrine to pick up the egg. Then I request you bring the egg to the Obsidian Oathstone to hatch in the location strong with their flight's power. Once this is complete, return here with the hatchling and we'll take further care of it.
Aspects watch over you.
In order for the Obsidian hatchling to be comfortable, we must build them a proper nest. You will need to build their nest from the Obsidian Citadel coal to make sure it's warm and suitable. Secondly, Archivist Edris will be able to assist you in finding something that ties them to their people. We want something from the Zaralik Caverns.
Continue to serve.
Okay. Well, the goal is to get these two done tonight. Because I can hear people stomping around already. God, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Go ahead and grab a black egg here.
Have you brought good tidings?
Do not forget this egg symbolizes the future of our flight. She is not beholden to our past. Lady, you're going to tell me I've been friends with Rathion since Kata. I don't even want to hear it. Yeah, I was thinking that recently, Evo. In terms of fidelity, there's better, but in terms of overall visual design, I struggle to think of one that actually surpasses this. Except for Final Fantasy XI, a PS2 game. Okay, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? Level 80, coming through, coming through. There it is. Look at hard to see. Yeah, I actually plan to talk about the aqueduct when we finally do the dungeon run. We're gonna do a dungeon run. We're gonna do a race run, and that's gonna be probably a minimum of two shifts by itself. I love how I just have this giant black dragon egg on my back. Don't worry, it's in the safest place in the world, on my back. Oh yeah, tier hold. Ooh. But we'll get there. That's patch content, I'm almost positive. No, remember, movies have less...
And the loyal supporter I know you are.
Screen time, not more.
You have done good work, but
you.
danger still looms.
So, I would probably really limit what a movie could do. Maybe just to Mass Effect 1. May this gem remind her of her shining future. It feels good to have hope for our flight. I love how they're like, choose me! I'm max repped on both these yahoos. Okay, crystalline shell, which is going to be down. We can also hatch the egg here. Feels weird hatching the egg now, but whatever, let's do it. No, Captain Zeus. I mean the tier hold quest chain. Hey, little guy. Did it really, Uthor? We'll have to decide how we do that then. Because it 100% crosses patches. They even reference patches. We'll come back to that. It's two things we have to come back to. We have to come back to the quest at the top of the grind area, and we have to come back to that. Let's go get this poor feller a shell. No. I mean like a movie. Like a, big budget thing. Having said that, I've heard good things about Paragon Lost, although I haven't seen it myself. Has the guy, the geologist who tracks the rivers in Skyrim, looked at WoW's rivers? Yeah, by the way, the Tears Hold quests, that's probably the first time we're really going to run into that signposting issue we've been referencing a few times. Because now, there's nothing to really indicate, that Tears Hold is across the entire expansion. There's also nothing to indicate that the quest I'm doing right now is part of 10.1.5. aka well ahead of where we are right now. That's like 3 patches ahead of us. By the way, 190 miles an hour at full speed. I don't know what that is in kilometers, don't ask me.
You want it? You bet we've got it.
I'm looking for an artifact for an obsidian hatchling's nest.
I'll have more dug up for you later.
Ever since all these black dragons arrived, they've been making this shell. They've been eyeing this shell. It's making me uncomfortable. Take it for the kid. Thank you. Yeah, you'll notice the signposting has been completely fine until we got to the quest in the Azure Span, which was go to Valdrakken. The moment we got that quest, there's a lot of quests in Valdrakken, and that pretty much is the issue. Valdrakken has a tremendous number of quests across multiple patches and in multiple directions, because it's the hub, right? Honestly, and I've thought about this a bit. Oh, yep, I saw it. 203 miles an hour, just for a millisecond there. There's a lot of ways they could fix that, but probably the easiest by far would just be to add a thing that says, this is part of this story arc, right? Like if I pull up this quest right here, and it says, this is part of this story arc. Now, I know what you're thinking. They kind of do, and you're right. Little day, like, this is the Little Scales daycare. Basically, they need to do more of this, right? This categorization thing, this was a good move. Splitting these up into zones and chopping these up per category, that was a good thing. More and better of that would help. Okay.
I never gave up.
Oh, wait. Gotta place the pieces. So there's the nest of coals. Obsidian gemstones. And over here is a crystalline shell. Just for you, little one. Oh, you know what? Yeah, absolutely, Huthor. I know that... See, I was debating putting the patch number there, and the thought I found myself having was, well, that's not going to be useful to, like, an average player. But actually, no, it will, because if nothing else, it indicates order, right? If nothing else, even if you don't know the specifics, 10.1 is clearly before 10.2, right? So just the Obsidian Hatchling, or the Little Scales Decker, 10.1.5. And boom, we now know that that's after 10.0 or 10.1 or whatever. Anyways.
Ah, Aspect's grace shine down on you.
We have the most to learn with this hatchling. I hope she has patience while we improve.
Long life to you.
Ah, they'll be quite comfortable in their new nest. Well done.
Be safe amongst...
We've done all we can today. Yep, it's daily. That's what I thought. Come back tomorrow.
Meet again.
We will. We're gonna log right there. Don't let me forget. We're gonna hit that pretty much every day. Meanwhile, in the past, literally in this case, I was going to do this. This is twice now I've come to do the spa quest and been like, wait, gotta do something else. We'll do the spa quest. Don't worry. Hang on. Since we're already here, there's actually several quests I've sort of deliberately skipped over here. Yep. Okay, here we go. So there's that one, and then there's that one. I'm gonna laugh if they ever add proper signposting. Like that. Okay, so that's a go-to. Ignore that for the moment. Yeah, Zerviles is just sitting there like, can I have a spa, please?
What is nature's call?
We'll go back to that one. And that. Yep, that's top. Okay, cool. So...
Well, spit it out. Go get him, champ.
Some folks in the city started saying this device was created by the legendary Titan Watcher Tia. You remember Tia, right? He's been in the game since Wrath. No, really, he has. He's an old one. No, not an old god. He's an old character. You know what I mean? Problem is, we can't get it to work. We tried all the usual tricks. Disassembling, gyroscoping, little electrocution. None of it, besides the electrocution, worked. Actually, I just had a great idea. You see that gyrocopter over there? Hop in, see if we can give this Titan thing a little more juice.
Keep it real.
Okay. That would be nice too, Xavion. Although they'd probably run out of colors at some point.
You missed
You take the bed. You don't need to. You don't have any clothes. Where is my baby bear? I will lay down in bed. I will defeat you, bed. I will defeat you. No. Wait, what are you? You're playing the T-Rex. Oh, okay.
Statue now.
Okay. Come here, statue. Ugh, gotcha.
One spin and I'll turn back.
More.
No, in the chair.
Oh. You're getting picky with your spins. I see how this is. Alright, hang on. Whoa. Okay. Okay.
I can't spin myself in the chair.
You can't?
Nope.
Then we will have to spin you.
I'm
More. More. Slower. And it's super fast. More. So. To finish hatching this egg, I'm gonna have to fling it. Fling the egg. Tickle the egg. Tickle the egg. Wait, are you a T-Rex? You can stand. You are capable of standing. You can stand. Ah. Come on, baby girl. Wait, hang on. Ah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You say bye, stream. Thank you. Whoa. You said it in bird. They don't know. You secretly said it. From the stream. Thank you, Sylvia. He's getting big to carry around with one arm. Wait, what? Take my copter in the air. Make sure to be gentle about it. Need to keep it running enough to generate enough juice for the missiles. Yep, I said missiles. We're gonna give this pile of Titan junk a proper wake-up call. Hit it! Hey, I'm standing here. I'm standing here. Ah, my eyes. Why? Hey, it's Woiken. Which can't be said for the gyrocopter. Eject! Eject! Let's charge up to me. I'm gonna do Diana's.
Welcome, adventurer.
Hello, maiden of inspiration.
Greetings, mortal. Stand strong.
By the way, you owe me a gyrocopter. Don't worry. I've got an engineer. No! Right at the last second, Jesse's mask swoops in with a steel chair. Damn, Uthor. That's awesome. I mean, terrible. Truly terrible. 7010. R. F7 R1. Final Fantasy Tactics. Appreciate you, Jesse's Mask. Thank you. Always. Now I'm going to get dinner. When we get back, more of Valdrassus, a little bit more wrap-up.